Stadium is filled to capacity on an ideal day for football. Two longtime NFC rivals clash today. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are 3-2 this season against the New York Giants, who have won 2 and dropped 3. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton. These next 2 games may be the most critical for the Giants this season, today and next week at Washington. Giants have won 2 in a row, and a win over the Eagles today that gets them right back into the hunt. The Eagles, on the other hand, lost to the Dallas Cowboys a week ago Monday. Not only do they lose their momentum, but they also lost their starting quarterback for the year, Rodney Peete. And as a result, as I bring in my partner, Matt Millen, Ty Detmer makes his first NFL start, replacing Rodney Peete. How do you size that up?
Well, I think that's a good question, because I think the Philadelphia Eagle coaching staff is asking that same question. Remember, Ty Detmer has not started a football game in 5 years since he won the Heisman Trophy at BYU. So what does he have? Well, what he has is a great knowledge of this offense. He's familiar with the thing. They brought him over for Green Bay. They know he can run. In fact, Ray Rhodes told me he was the toughest guy to defend when they went in their practices, which is one of the reasons that they brought him over. The other thing that they have is a good running game. And Ty Detmer is smart enough to know that number 32 behind him, Ricky Watters, can carry the football. Ricky Watters adds a dimension to this offense that had been lacking. He'll line up in the backfield and he'll run. He'll also split out and he'll be a receiver. And that's what they're going to have to rely on today.
And they're going against a tougher team that they originally thought they would be playing. The Giants, who have won 2 in a row, beat Minnesota. They were undefeated 2 weeks ago right here in this very stadium. What's behind their mini surge?
I think the biggest thing is confidence. I think confidence is really the difference between winning and losing in this league. You know, it's really from the neck up. And when you look at this team, you know, they beat the Jets. You say, you know, not very good. Then you go and you beat the undefeated Minnesota Vikings and you say, you know what, we can win. We believe we can win. So you come and you watch them at practice, different pace. You watch them pregame, different pace. You can see the confidence, and really that can carry a team.
Now, this is a team the Giants lost twice to the Eagles last year. What do they have to do to defeat Philadelphia in today's game?
Well, I think the biggest thing when you look at the New York Football Giants, there's not a lot of margin for error. And so what they have to do well is that offensive line has got to perform. If that offensive line plays well, the running game comes, and then also the passing game.
All right, Giants-Eagles coming right up.
Gonna be one up front. We got to be physical. 1, 2, 3, win!
Everybody bring it, baby, bring it! Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win! Come on now! Come on, baby, bring it!
Ladies, gentlemen, and members of the board, today we propose a different solution. Not tonight.
Hey, nice pants.
You're nice.
Dockers stonewashed khakis.
White dogs and mad dogs, these guys are skin dogs. They'll make you pray, my way. La Russa's planning, and Jordan's slamming. Coyote's got it covered. The National League Championship on Fox.
The defending champion Braves take on the Cardinals tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox.
Back here at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the Eagles and the Giants. And the Redskins at 4-1 are leading late in the game over the New England Patriots. The Dallas Cowboys have already defeated the Arizona Cardinals. And you can see how tight this division is. And a pivotal game for Ray Rhodes, who was once a 10th round draft pick by the Giants in 1974. Came in as a wide receiver and a defensive back. And across the field, Dan Reeves in his 4th year. And despite losing both to the Eagles last year, Reeves has a 4-2 record against the Eagles since he's come over to the Giants. Giants have won the toss, and Tom Hutton will kick off for the Eagles in white. Tyrone Wheatley and Amani Toomer, the rookie from Michigan, are back deep. And it's heading Wheatley's way at the 3. Wheatley is run out of bounds, and a flag is down upfield. Referee today is Red Cashin. And an offsides call against the Eagles And you've got to think the Giants would like a re-kick, Matt.
Oh, they're going to take that. Absolutely. You remember, when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and their special teams, their coverage teams have been killing them. Heck, Ray Rhodes told us last night in this bye week, they just went back and they practiced special teams and they practiced coverage. So I guess they're going to get a chance to practice it again.
Well, you mentioned the kick coverage. The Eagles, remember, had a 10-0 lead over the Cowboys, and Herschel Walker killed the Eagles' momentum and turned it over to the Cowboys with a great kickoff return, with the team trailing 10-0, and ultimately Dallas won 23-19. So Wheatley goes back again with Toomer, and Hutton will kick it off again.
And I think special teams is one of the areas that's really been hurt with the way the league is now, where a lot of guys are moving from team to team. Used to be that you'd have, guys on special teams, they'd put a whole career into it. Now, now it's 2 years and you move, and you're always looking for young guys, and it really takes time to understand how to run down and run through blocks.
And you can win offensively and defensively, and if your special teams coverage is slipshod, you can lose the game outright that way.
Yeah, it'll kill you.
So once again, Tom Hutton from the 25-yard line will kick off. Following the penalty, it is a short kick. And Wheatley will let it bounce out of bounds, and the Giants will get great field position. And that penalty hurt the Eagles right at the start of this game.
Yeah, 20-yard. That's a 20-yard penalty right there.
Dave Brown, the Giant quarterback, and he played well against the Vikings 2 weeks ago. Those are his season's numbers. But Brown did a good job making adjustments at the line. The key, as Matt has mentioned, the offensive line: Bishop, Zadiska, Brian Williams, the center, Ron Stone, and Scott Gregg. Rodney Hampton and Charles Way. Thomas Lewis, the lone wide receiver, and 2 tight ends will be used by the Giants a good deal today with Aaron Pierce and Howard Cross. Giants will start from their 45-yard line, and they will start with 2 wide receivers, Callaway and Lewis split. Handoff is to Rodney Hampton going outside, and Hampton gets into Eagle territory and has a first down, it appears. James Willis making the tackle for Philadelphia. Defensively for the Eagles, and they are delighted to get Andy Harmon back. He missed 5 games with arthroscopic surgery on his knee. Fuller is not 100%. It is a small front line. Ray Farmer, a 4th-round pick from Duke, will make his debut at outside linebacker, and a good secondary. Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent are big, and they can cover Brian Dawkins and Michael Zordich, the safeties. First down for the Giants at the Eagle 44. Pierce goes in motion, and Brown going up top for Callaway, and incomplete. No flag is down, and great coverage by Troy Vincent, the former Miami Dolphin.
When you watch this New York Giant football team, and you say, okay, what the heck are they? Well, what they are is they're a run football team, and it sets up plays like this, play action. And when you have a guy like Chris Callaway, I think one thing stands out with him. There's confidence between Callaway and Brown. See, Vincent undercut that thing. Brown knew he had a shot.
You're right. This team is playing a lot more confidence right now. The handoff is to Hampton, and Hampton gets a couple. Giants definitely revived, having beaten the Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. Victory today would even their season record at 3-3. Great comeback from early season misery.
Yeah, and if they're going to do that, it's going to have to start up front with that offensive line. You know, I mentioned it at the start of the game. This offensive line is their key. When they can run the football effectively, that sets up their passing game. In order to run, and they're really between the tackle running team, that offensive line has to set the tone.
They've got the worst 3rd down conversion percentage in the league. They need 9 yards for the first down. Lawrence Dawsey in motion, and Brown is sacked back at midfield. James Willis.
Mike Mamula just ate him up. Yeah, Mamula. I want you to watch Mamula. Now Mamula's been waiting for this, because Bishop right here, 78, has problems with speed. Mamula's going to beat him topside. Now Bishop knows that's, let me tell you something, that is an effort by Mamula of knowing your opponent. Did you see at the top how he dipped inside? Bishop was afraid of the inside. He dipped in, took it, and then went back out.
Punt by Horan, and a fair catch called by Mark Say at the 16-yard line. A 35-yard kick by Horan. So here is Ty Detmer. Questions regarding his size. He is not a small man weight-wise, and there you see his numbers against the Dallas Cowboys. He also was hit hard in the third quarter. Barrett Brooks, Joe Panos, Raleigh McKenzie, Lester Holmes, and Richard Cooper had his hands full against Tony Tolbert. Waters, the running back. And a rookie tight end in Jason Dunn. 1st and 10 from the 16. Here is Ricky Waters. And Waters, who gained 68 yards and scored a touchdown against the Cowboys, picks up 2. Defensively for the Giants, Bratsky, Hamilton, Harris, and Michael Strahan, who is their best at getting to enemy quarterbacks. Corey Miller, Corey Widmer in the middle, and Jesse Armstead, their big play linebacker. Jason Sehorn and Felipe Sparks at the corners. Rookie Percy Ellsworth and Jesse Campbell at the safeties. That's a solid secondary the Giants have. 2nd down and 8. Detmer drops back in the pocket, and the pass is caught by Irving Fryer, and he picks it up. It's fumbled and picked up by Kevin Turner. And it was a catch and a fumble, and Turner very alertly brings it into Giant territory, but a flag will nullify the big game. Holding is the call against the Eagles.
Yeah, but did you see Ty Detmer in there? See how Ty Detmer stood in the pocket? He talked so much about that.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face. Number 73 on the defense. Half the distance.
Lester Holmes, the right guard.
Still 2nd down.
Yeah, watch. Lester Holmes right inside. This is the Eric Williams rule. Goes right up tight on Harris. Gets a hand right in the face. See that thing right up there? And that's what he called. I mean, that's a good physical play in setting the tone, but he got caught. Remember last year in the championship game how Eric Williams went to Reggie White's face and they said, we're not going to let that happen again? It was already in the rules, but they're looking for enforcing it more now than ever.
So a 41-yard gain is nullified on the penalty. 2nd and 17. And here is Ricky Waters, who is stopped at the 9-yard line by Jason Sehorn. That was a huge penalty when you think of a 41-yard nullification and bad field position. And that'll bring up third and long.
Yeah, and so what you say, where do you go? Let's go to our 3rd and long playbook. And it's the first start for Ty Detmer in 5 years. And that's what you wanted to keep him out of, was this kind of situation.
3 wide receivers. Mark Say is in the slot to the left. Pass is tipped, incomplete.
That's what they were talking about. You can bat a ball down on Ty Detmer because he's not a real big guy. And on the other side, Detmer was saying, I have to learn and get a feel for how the pocket works. Detmer is one of those guys who's not a real big guy. Actually, he suits up smaller than he is, which is really rare.
That's hard to...
It's hard to do. I mean, you put the pads on, you look smaller.
So Tom Hutton will kick from the end zone, and Amani Toomer goes back. Giants, who had good field position on their first series and could do nothing with it, may have another opportunity.
Clock went.
And the delay of game will force Hutton to kick farther deep into his end zone.
Delay by the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still 4th down.
Sure, Ray Rhodes is still gnashing his teeth over that penalty. The Eagles had a chance in Giant territory. It was nullified, and Philadelphia now will be kicking from deep in their end zone, and the Giants looking for good field position for the 2nd time in this first quarter.
So the other thing that happened was you went from a completion and a big play where you pat your guys in the back to an incompletion and a penalty, and you're stuck in your own territory.
Hutton with a low end-over-end kick. Takes a high bounce for Toomer. And a great play on the open field prevents Toomer from getting into Eagle territory. That was Sylvester Wright. A 51-yard kick by Hutton. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is strictly prohibited. No score, first quarter. Nearly 4 minutes have gone by. The Giants with a first down on their 47. They go to Hampton. Hampton breaks a tackle, maybe 2 of them, and gets nearly 8 yards on the play. Ray Farmer, the rookie linebacker, finally brings him down.
See Rodney Hampton, and you watch the first series and they're throwing. You know what they want to be able to do is stay out of third and long, and the way to do that is with your running back Rodney Hampton. Now Hampton is best between the tackles. The difference between Hampton and Wheatley really is speed. It's not magic. It's not that little quickness and stuff inside. This guy has a great feel for running between the tackles.
Had a season's best of 82 yards against the Vikings 2 weeks ago. Second down and 3. Again, it's Hampton, and Hampton has the first down. Just close to the 40-yard line. Taylor and Willis that time for Philadelphia.
You know, when you talk about Rodney Hampton, you really do yourself a disservice if you don't talk about Charles Way as fullback, especially when they come into this set and you have the 2 tight ends and you have the back. And Charles Way right there, he really is the key, because they'll use him as a tackle, they'll use him as a fullback in leads, they'll pull him, they'll put him all over the place, and he's the blocker that Hampton follows.
First down, Giants. And the pitch to Hampton. Way blocking. And Hampton picks up nearly 5 yards. And once again, Charles Way was up ahead blocking for him.
Yeah, I think, you know, you look at the game plan, it says, follow the way. I mean, it's that simple. And you just find number 30. Now, these last 3 plays, every place Charles Way has gone, that's where Rodney Hampton has gone. And so that becomes a key. Not a big key, but one key. And now what they'll do after this is they will counter. They'll sell Charles Way one way, and Hampton will come back the other.
Way made a good block on Farmer. It'll bring up second down and 5 on the Eagle 35. Again, they go to Hampton, and Hampton will be shy by about 1.5 yards. James Willis that time. Pickup of 3 yards. Hampton, the leading rusher for the Giants, coming in averaging just under 3.5 yards per carry. That's what he's done so far today.
Yeah, he's at 5.5 right now. And again, he's just following Charles Way. Again, they did the same thing. And so what the New York Giants are saying is that we are going to control the football. We're going to try to avoid third long. Now you have third and short. We're going to give our quarterback the best possible situation to work out where he has options.
Giants have been keeping the ball on the ground. Third down and 2, and they do it again. And Hampton, with his second effort, close to the sticks. See where they spot the ball.
Well, James Willis just put a stick on him. But what he didn't do was wrap his arms. And I think when I look at this league, I think what I've seen more of now is guys who forget to wrap their arms. They'll come up and they are coming in 100 miles an hour, and they'll get the hit, but they just forget. Watch number here, number 50 right here. They just forget to wrap their arms. Now you see it. That's a nice read. Scrape to the hole, attack. See how he didn't wrap his arms? Really, that's a testament to Hampton. Hampton give the second effort, hit instinctively, spun back inside.
And measuring for the first down, and the Giants have it. Meanwhile, the Eagles have made changes on the defensive line up front. Ronnie Dixon and Hollis Thomas have replaced Rhett Hall and Andy Harmon, the 2 tackles, and that was the plan for Ray Rhodes today, was to go deep into his defensive line.
Yeah, well, it's also chess, because now you're going to start pounding people. Okay, now we're going to put some anchors and drop them inside. Hollis Thomas is over 300 pounds, and he's barely 6 foot.
All of a sudden, that defensive line has got bigger. First and 10 at the 30.
Oh, Bishop is going to jump outside. He's a little bit worried about the speed. Greg Bishop, as a player, knows his limitations. Like Clint Eastwood says, your man's got to know his limitations.
False start. Number 78 on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
And one of his limitations is at the tackle position, speed to the top side. And so there's speed today. Mike Mamula has the speed to the top side, and he also understands how to set it up. He faked inside to give him that little half step.
Mamula already with a sack on Dave Brown. First down and 15 following the penalty. And on the delay, here is Rodney Hampton. Very conservative play calling so far by Dan Reeves, a pickup of 2. William Thomas making the tackle. Giants have had the ball control edge in the first quarter with less than 7.5 minutes remaining. That's their drive thus far, 6 plays, but this game remains scoreless.
I mean, it's predictable. There's Emmett Thomas, the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. Speaking with him prior to the game, he knew this was a scenario that he expected and one that he anticipated. And so when you know that, you can also counter it.
Tyrone Wheatley has come into the Giant backfield, number 28, on 2nd and 13. Brown flips it to Wheatley, and all over him was William Thomas. Wheatley couldn't get much room, and right now for McDonald's Game Break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
All right, Dick, those who were watching the Washington-New England game, this 24-yard field goal by Scott Blanton put the Redskins up by the score of 27-22 with less than a minute to go. New England awaiting the kickoff. Let's take you back to Dick Stockton and Matt Miller.
And that would be a huge victory for the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, it really would. I mean, that put them up at 5-1 and a lot more confidence.
3rd down and 13 on the 33 of the Eagles. Brown rolling out to his left, and the pass is caught by Chris Callaway short of the first down by about 3 yards, and that will set up a 4th down, and the Giants will attempt a field goal. Bobby Taylor was covering Callaway on the play.
Well, you know, they wanted to try to stay away, the New York Giants wanted to try to stay away from having to throw it all the time because the Eagles have 2 really good young corners. Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor are playing well together now, and they're going to continue to get better.
Brad Daloiso will attempt a field goal of about 40 yards. Daloiso has missed only 1 this year, and there you see the doors are open.
Yeah, the doors are open. That's the fabled thing with the Giants Stadium with
the wind. And the kick is good. Brad Daloiso's field goal, it's listed as 39 yards, gives the Giants a 3-0 lead. You got to watch those doors at either end being open or closed.
Yeah, always. I mean, it's been talked about so much here in Giant Stadium, and they've said that it's been an advantage for the New York Giants. And the story goes like this: when the Giants are kicking, those doors are closed, and so that gives the advantage with the wind. When the Giants' opponents are kicking, those doors mysteriously open up, and then you get all kinds of swirling winds down on the field. I spoke with Red Cashin prior to the game about that, and he said he would go to the groundskeeper and say, whatever you do, whatever that is, you just be consistent. He said, well, the fire marshal told me this. And Red said, look, I don't care what the fire marshal said. If he said keep him down all game long. If he says keep him up all game long.
So we saw them open, and there must have been to someone's advantage for the Giants, as the winds can play tricks here, especially when you get into November and December.
It's funny, you talk to Red Cashin, who's going to be retiring after this year, after 25 years, and I still think is one of the best referees in the game. But he says, you know, you can't teach that. You have to know your stadium. You have to know your people. And he says, you don't go to a seminar and say, and don't forget Giant Stadium, those doors open up.
Brad Daloiso will kick off, and Derek Witherspoon and Mark Say are back deep. The Giants leading 3-0, and Witherspoon, who leads the NFL in kickoff returns, brings it out from a yard in the end zone, and a good return by Witherspoon beyond the 20-yard line. Well, following our football game today, it's game 4 of the NLCS. Chipper Jones will lead the Atlanta Braves. And the Braves are under the gun a little bit. Ron Gant, the former Brave, now with the St. Louis Cardinals with a hot game last night. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern as the road to the World Series continues on Fox. After an opening victory by the Braves, the Cardinals have won the last 2, and Denny Nagel gets the call today from Bobby Cox against Andy Bennis, Tony La Russa's selection. And if Nagel can keep Atlanta alive, they've got the big 3 for the rest of the series if necessary. Keith Elias shaken up for the Giants.
I think when I watch that St. Louis team, and Brian Jordan, I'd like to put him at free safety. I think I'd like to take Gant and put him at strong. I think both of them would do pretty well.
Meanwhile, they're otherwise occupied.
Yeah, well, Keith Elias looks like he's going to shake that thing off and hop up.
He was a Princeton Tiger who earned a role with the Giants a couple of years ago.
Yeah, spoke with him yesterday talking about special teams. He's talking to the special teams coach. He's saying, you know, I was running down and this happened and I was right, wasn't I? And he looked over at me and I said, hey, anytime you have to think on special teams, you're in trouble.
Well, this is not good news for Elias, who has to be helped off the field.
A good kid, good smart kid, was their third down back, and he's added a lot. And the biggest thing is he's a great example. I mean, he has his skills, but then on top of it, he goes out and shows you how to get it done. And he'll play the special teams, and he'll also come in and do whatever you ask him.
The Eagles trailing the Giants 3-0, have a first down on their 21. Detmer looking one way and completes the pass to Chris T. Jones.
You know, we said about how long it's been for Ty Detmer before he started a football game. Only Jeff Hostetler at 75, only 6 behind of the active quarterbacks in this league, had to wait longer. Remember, the last game he started was the Holiday Bowl against Texas A&M.
Frank Reich, who started for the Jets today, and there you see walking off is Irving Fryer, who made that 8-yard reception, bringing up second down and 2, the 33-year-old veteran. Here is Ricky Waters, and Waters carries and has an Eagle first down. Jesse Armstead making the tackle.
You know, and you look at Ty Detmer and you say, okay, he hasn't started for 5 years. Now, where does that put you? Man, I think that's a good question, because he was apprehensive and he didn't know what to expect. He said he had 2 concerns. One was feeling the pocket and getting a feel for that again. And there's passing lanes that you have to get aware of and who blocks which way. And then the other thing was getting comfortable. He knows this offense, but just running it. He hasn't been there for such a long time. The audibles, he wanted to make sure they came back quick.
Mark Say in motion on first down from the 32. The Eagles with their first down of the game. Detmer has no one to throw to and dives over Felipe Sparks.
But you see what he did there, Dick? He got back in the pocket, looked to his left, looked to the middle. He saw the whole field. I mean, that's got to answer a question for him. I want you to watch Detmer when he goes back. And watch his head. Looks over there, now to the middle, now to the right. Okay, it's not there. Now you take off and buy some time. And all this is good that you're seeing the whole field. And this is going to continue to get better. See his eyes? Looking downfield, running to throw. I just think he's rusty. He's going to dust all that stuff off. If he can take a hit, he's going to be okay.
Gain of 4 yards. Second down and 6. Here is Ricky Waters. Nothing doing. And the Giant defense closes in the middle, led by Robert Harris. That'll bring up third down for the Eagles as we get to 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Brad Daloiso's field goal, 39 yards out, giving the Giants a 3-0 lead.
I think the New York Giants are saying, all right, Detmer, we're going to make you beat us because we know what Ricky Waters is, and he's killed us the last few games. So we're going to take Waters away and make Detmer have to beat us.
Mark Ingram, the former Giant, in the game at wide receiver, split to the left on 3rd and 5. Detmer has time and going to Chris T. Jones. Incomplete. Good coverage by Felipe Sparks, who starred against the Vikings, and that'll bring up 4th down. Welcome to Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Dick Stockton and Matt Millen. We have 3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Giants, on a Daloiso field goal, lead the Eagles by a score of 3-0. The Giant defense has held for the second time, and Tom Hutton will kick it away. And Amani Toomer back deep for the Giants. And not a good kick by Hutton as he shanked it. And the Giants, for the 3rd time in this first quarter, will have solid field position. They've controlled the ball so far.
I'll tell you, children, how it was before the skies were freed. To fly somewhere you needed wealth, it was a luxury. Then Southwest Airlines came along and democratized the skies. Now every man, woman, and child is free to pack up and fly. Southwest. One day soon we'll fly to the moon if that's where you need to be. Now we gotta get back to business, boys. Set the country free.
There are a lot of interesting things to see in this country.
On your right,
you'll see the marriage of the body and the chassis.
Who would have ever thought a car factory would be one of them? But the more people learned about Saturn, the more they wanted to visit us.
Polymer panels bend and flex. Go ahead, get right
We're
in.
flattered by all the attention. We're just a little baffled by it. I mean, we are just making cars, right?
Next stop, Saturn Gift Shop. Now, if you look over here.
Did you know that every time you buy one of our beers, you'll get a date? Every time, honest. You see, every package of ours has a little date printed right on it, in plain language. If the beer doesn't sell by that day, we take it back. Now, I suppose we could put a secret code on our packages, but then all you'd get is a blind date.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. By Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. By the NASDAQ stock market. Visit www.nasdaq.com. And by Pizza Hut. Now, we've got your pizza.
Irving Fryar walking into the locker room. He was shaken up after catching a pass on the last series for the Eagles. Fryar, a veteran of 13 years in the NFL. Meanwhile, the Giants, again, good field position, begin on their 46th first down. And the give is to Rodney Hampton. And Hampton, for a couple, gets about 3 yards. Michael Zordich making the tackle. The Redskins defeated the New England Patriots on the road. A big win and their 5th straight victory.
That's a big win for Washington. And they come off the bye when they had not done well. And they get that big, and they get the victory. And then that also, you know, you have the Philadelphia Eagles right behind them, and then the Giants also. Dallas with another win. And here come the Cowboys.
3-3 on the year for Dallas, having beaten the Eagles and the Cardinals. 2nd down and 7. Dave Brown, nowhere to go, is hit from behind. Will actually pick up 2 yards on the play. That was Ray Farmer, who's starting today. 4th round draft choice out of Duke, replacing Mark Woodard, who had been the starter for Philadelphia.
Well, he's either a fast linebacker or a slow safety. I mean, he was a safety in college, and so Ray Rhodes liked what he saw in him. I mean, he's not afraid to be physical. He'll step right up. He's not a real big guy. At this point, he doesn't quite believe what he sees. When he sees it, he'll get it. Sometimes he doesn't quite see everything.
And a safety in college. There you see the vast contrast in field position. 3rd down and 5. Brown's pass off the hands of Aaron Pierce. And that'll bring up 4th down. And we have an update on the report. Irving Fryar, who went to the locker room, suffered a sprained left ankle. Probably will be back for the Eagles offense. That's good news for them.
See right now that the Giants are, just by what they're doing, they're a little concerned with Mamula off that left side and getting some pressure. And so now they're going to quick stuff, get rid of the ball fast.
Mark Say back deep for the Eagles. Mike Horan will punt for the Giants. 1:45 remaining in the first quarter. Good high kick. Say again with a fair catch, and on the 7-yard line calls for the fair catch. Gotta let that bounce. Timeout.
Like most car companies, we kept our new coupe a secret before we introduced it to the public.
Whose red car is that out there in the parking lot?
It's probably me. Am I blocking you?
Oh, no. It kind of caught my eye when I walked by it.
We covered up the name so you'd be surprised when you finally saw it in a showroom.
So, what is it?
I'm not supposed to tell you.
We never thought, though, that people would be able to figure out what car it was just by meeting the people who test drove it. Well, so much for keeping a secret.
Hey, Max, glad I caught you. You know what I just discovered at Pizza Hut? The perfect pizza. Not too thick, not too thin. Just like, pizzeria pizza. Freshly baked every day. And here's the kicker. A ring of cheese baked right into the crust. Imagine.
Why are you telling me? I'm a dog.
I'm telling everyone.
Discover Pizzeria's Stuffed Crust Pizza. Now we've got your pizza.
And the best part is, it's only $8.99 for a large with 1 topping. Listen, Candace, we know what you're going through. Ever since Sprint launched that Diamond Minute rate, people just won't leave you alone.
And now we hear Sprint's really turning up the heat.
Now you can get 10 cents a minute 24 hours a day to the number you call the most.
So if you're watching, Candace, my advice to you is to go long and never come back.
I would ask to be traded to another city.
I got it. Assume a whole new identity.
Hey, now there's an idea.
Call now and get a limited edition NFL phone card when you sign up for 10 cents a minute.
The pressure's on as the Braves take on the Cards in Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. Tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox.
On this gorgeous Sunday, beautiful pictures from above thanks to the Fujifilm blimp. Giants lead the Eagles 3-0. And the Eagles will have the ball on their 7-yard line.
Hey, look at that. Yes. You see that thing go right by?
Well, an aerial circus it has not been.
I'm going to report that to the FA. I think that's one of those incidental things.
They're not throwing the ball in the air, so the planes may just as well fly. First down, Ty Detmer rolling out, and a flag is down, and he goes underneath to Turner, the fullback, but a penalty marker is down.
That was a nice call. And Jason Dunn, the rookie tight end, couldn't quite get across the field.
That was a 4-yard gain, and this time holding will be the call against the Giants.
Now, I like the way John Gruden, the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, is coming along in his play calling. Man, not like I'm any kind of area. John Gruden right here.
Holding, number 92 on the defense, 5 yards, first down.
Michael Strahan, defensive end. But John Gruden is interesting because not only, you know, Ty Detmer's out there, he's having to get a feel for. John Gruden's got to get a feel for his quarterback. He's got to get a feel. He says, look, I really don't know. He hasn't been in a game. I don't know how he's going to react, so I'm going to have to sit and watch and wait and see.
2 tight ends for Ty Detmer, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Mark Say in motion left, and the pitch left to Turner. And Kevin Turner, who's been a valuable performer, is held to no gain by the Giants' Corey Widmer. By the way, Marcus Buckley has replaced Corey Miller at outside linebacker for the Giants, and they have so far done what they intended to do, and that is stifle the Philadelphia running attack. But it's early, and we have less than a minute to go in the first quarter.
And the way the Giants are doing it, I mean, they're playing good, solid team defense, and they're daring Detmer to have to beat him down the field. Their corners are playing tight coverage, and they're saying, all right, try to beat me over the top.
2nd down and 10 from the 12. Trying to put pressure on Detmer. He has time, and the pass is to Mark Say. And Ty Detmer found Say, and the Eagles get out of trouble. A gain of 14 and a first down.
You know, and that's that passing lanes we were talking about. And that's feeling the pocket and understanding the pocket that Ty Detmer is waiting for. Now, there's one thing about standing behind people, but not, look right here. See this? That's called the passing lane. You wait for things to develop, and then you see the whole picture. And then you just kind of slide that way and wait for the receivers downfield to develop. This time, Say just runs right through that zone and gets underneath Widmer, and a big first down.
And that'll take care of festivities in the first quarter. We've completed one here at Giants Stadium. Capacity crowd. The Giants lead the Eagles 3-0.
Lower your right foot and repeat after me. I promise to be free. I promise to be different. I promise to take the other path. I promise to be unique. I promise to drive an Eldorado with a 300 horsepower North Star system, a suspension that reads faster than Evelyn Wood, and a body that parts traffic. Hey, sometimes you've just got to live without limits.
Beau pantalon.
Hey, she says nice pants. There's American boy here.
Darker stonewashed khakis.
Sir, is that good here?
Oui.
It started with the Arch Deluxe.
Now McDonald's introduces more sandwiches with the grown-up taste.
Honey, our little boy, he's growing up.
Into what? McDonald's new deluxe line. Whole chicken breast filet and fish filet that are big, sophisticated, and very grown up.
Same show.
Stop, girl, shoot!
Same time.
Golly!
New day. The X-Files moves to Sundays, October 27th.
Welcome back to Giant Stadium, the start of the second quarter. Dick Stockton along with Matt Millen, and there is Irving Fryer, who suffered a sprained left ankle, back as promised into the Eagle lineup. The Eagles have a first down on their 26-yard line, trailing 3-0. And the handoff is to Charlie Garner. Garner has become a missing person in the Philadelphia scheme of things, with Waters having such a fine year and Turner a valuable fullback, but he gives them good changeup with terrific speed in the backfield.
Yeah, he's a knuckleball. You never know where the heck he's going to go. He may be designed to start inside. With that speed, he'll bounce it all the way outside. He's a hard guy to block for. He's also hard to defend because you don't know where the heck he's going to go. Ray Rhodes says we have to get him the ball at least 10 times, and we'd like to try it anyway.
And he's dangerous. 2nd and 6. And the pass is to Fryer. Fryer tackled at the 35, may have enough for the first down with Sparks defending.
Tell you what's been going on as you look at Ty Detmer, that offensive line quietly, as Guy McIntyre has come into the football game now, they've been playing pretty well. Taking Joe Panos out from the one side, McIntyre comes in, Holmes is in there, McKenzie in the middle. And then Cooper, the right tackle, who had himself a rough game the other night, said, you know, we made him a big offer, we paid him a lot of money, and he's got to play well. So far, against Strahan, he's been playing pretty well.
And it is an Eagle first down. Strahan, of course, locked in the contract squabbles of his own with the Giants. He is their leading pass rusher with 3.5 sacks to lead this team thus far this year. He going to try and take advantage of Cooper the way Tony Tolbert did, but so far it hasn't been there for him. First down at the 36 for the Eagles. And the handoff to Ricky Waters back in the game, and Waters, whose longest rush was 8 yards against the Cowboys in that Monday night game, picks up 8 on that play.
Yeah, we talked about Charles Way on one side, the other side you got Kevin Turner, their fullback. Turner comes up, see how he gathered himself, and then he snuck that left hand in there. See, just as Strahan was ready to throw him, Turner snuck the hand in a little bit quicker. He's a crafty guy. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Darryl Johnston. Has the same kind of abilities.
2nd down and 2 from the 44-yard line. Ty Detmer has a long time. And
what a catch!
Great one-handed catch by Fryer. Irving Fryer with a one-handed grab, and he had a leap over a tall Jason Sehorn to grab it for 31 yards. Big play for Philadelphia.
Yeah, and if you're going to get that thing, the first thing you have to do is protect up front. Strahan runs a stunt. Look who blocks him. Ricky Waters shoves his face in. And that allowed Detmer to stand inside. But I want you to watch this. I mean, this is nothing you can practice. You just either have it or you don't. And guess what? He has unbelievable. Willie Mays would be proud of that catch.
Yes, he would. I hope. 1st and 10 at the 26 of the Giants. And Ricky Waters driving forward picks up about 3 yards on the play. That is worth seeing again. A spectacular reception by Irving Fryer.
You know, I think when you look at this, and you can see that it's special. You see he goes up with the one hand, and he just cradles that thing and really just sucks it in a Venus flytrap. And then when it's over, everybody could see that it was out of the ordinary, and he knew it. I mean, he got up after that play, and he was as excited as everybody in the stand.
There's a guy who was in the locker room just a few minutes ago.
Should hurt his ankle more often.
2nd and 6. Detmer again with time. Tipped away by Ellsworth. Percy Ellsworth from the University of Virginia, an undrafted rookie. Got a chance to start in his last game against the Vikings. Broke that up on the pass intended for Chris T. Jones.
I think they have a find here in Ellsworth. I think what Ellsworth is a big guy. He's tall. He's got decent weight, but he has real good speed. And the other thing that you can't teach is he's got instincts. I mean, he just knows. Look how he breaks underneath this. He gets his hand up there, drags it down. I think Percy Ellsworth is a find. The Giants they got themselves a pretty good football player, and he's a rook.
Ninth play of the drive coming for the Eagles, 3rd and 6. Felipe Sparks on a cornerback blitz, and Chris T. Jones can't reach it. He was covered downfield by the free safety Ellsworth.
See, that's what they have with Ellsworth. See, because of his side and his speed, you can take him and take him from the safety position and drop him on the wide receiver. I mean, that's something that a lot of safeties can't do in this league. And Ellsworth, he can do it. I mean, he can drop over there, get the jam, and still be able to turn and run.
So the Eagles with an opportunity now to tie the game. Gary Anderson, who is 7 for 9, with a 40-yard field goal attempt. And Anderson's kick is good to tie it up. He's been around a long time. Gary Anderson ties this one at 3-3 early in the second.
Wendy's, where hot and juicy hamburgers made fresh right when they're ordered keep the fans coming back, presents great comebacks. In 1979, the Denver Broncos were saddled with a 24-point deficit until a determined offense grabbed the reins and engineered one of the NFL's most exciting come-from-behind victories.
Dave, darling, I saw your grilled chicken sandwich commercial the other day and you looked fabulous. Anyway, I had to try one. Honey, it was delicious. The whole breast filet is bigger, plumper, and juicier than ever. And they made it fresh right when I ordered it. Dave, just between us, it was so good I had to. Don't tell. Love and kisses, Iman.
You know Iman?
When you got it, you got it.
Try Wendy's new plumper, juicier grilled chicken sandwich.
Denver used a spectacular catch, an explosive running game, and their patented mile-high magic to score 20 unanswered points in a stunning come-from-behind win.
Same show.
Stop or I'll shoot!
Same time.
Golly!
New day.
Father!
The X-Files moves to Sundays, October 27th.
On Fox, NFL Sundays, see the pregame team that's not afraid to step up to the line and tell it like it is.
Can you tackle? I want to see some guys tackle. If you can show me a tackle, let me know today.
Then, Eric Metcalf leads the Falcons against the Cowboys' triple threat offense of Aikman, Irvin, and Smith. Or Brown, Hampton, and the New York Giants take on Terry Allen and the red-hot Redskins. Fox, NFL Sunday, next week. Check local listings.
Tied 3-3, the Eagles and the Giants. Irving Fryer with a 31-yard sensational catch. That was the scoring drive. Gary Anderson with a 39-yard field goal. Here's how even this game is. Daloiso for the Giants and Anderson for the Eagles, both with 39-yard field goals, and both coming with 4:55 gone in the respective quarters, the first and second. Tom Hutton kicking off. And that's picked up by Charles Way. And Way, who is playing upfield, brings it up to about the 35-yard line. We'll take a timeout.
Coming into the league, you're at the bottom of the mountain.
Football camp is the hardest thing I've ever been through.
Team, the coaches, the media, all eyes are looking at me.
We asked some of the NFL's hottest rookies to switch antiperspirants and try Degree.
Body heat activated.
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
As I work harder, Degree works harder.
This stuff really works. It helped me keep my coolness.
Body heat activated Degree for an extra degree of protection.
Don't want to be smelling like you just played a football game.
At the Principal Financial Group, you'll find the strength of our investment performance is your 401k retirement advantage. You'll find our flexibility will meet your insurance needs, and you'll find the balance of choice and quality you need in health coverage. For over a century, you've trusted the Principal for strength, flexibility, and balance in retirement, insurance, and financial products. At the Principal, we give you an edge.
Giants will start from the 36. They've had great field position and have managed just 3 points on the field goal with a 9-play drive. Dave Brown will lead them from the 36.
You watch this Giant football team, and they play very conservative. And I think at one point you just have to say, look, we have to open up a little bit. You just say, okay, let's see what Dave Brown can do. And you think you know a guy, but at one point you have to maybe give him a little bit of leash. You got to let that dog run a little bit in the yard.
Let him run a long time, maybe. First down, Tyrone Wheatley and Charles Way in the backfield for the Giants. Play fake. Brown has some time, and wide open is Callaway. Callaway tried to cut inside and is brought down by Bobby Taylor, and the Giants with a 21-yard pickup into Eagle territory.
Well, when you run the football so effectively, and then you go with play action, and then you have Bobby Taylor matched up man-to-man outside on Callaway, and Callaway just turns him around. You're going to watch. He's going to take him in, bend him to the inside. He knows Callaway's. You see, Callaway had Taylor's back turned, and then just break it back outside.
Taylor, #1 pick a year ago. Giants with a first down on the Philadelphia 43. Charles Way in motion. Here is Wheatley, and nothing doing. Greg Jefferson, who has replaced William Fuller, making the tackle. And right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to JB at our Fox Television Center.
Hey Dick, Matt's old team, the Raiders, first touchdown on the opening drive by Oakland in 25 games. Hostetler running for his life, floats one to James Jett. They have added a field goal and lead it 10-0 over Detroit. Back to Dick Stockton and Matt Miller.
It's your team. You talk about them.
Yeah, well, they still, Hostetler still has feet, I see. And it's so apparent that when you have those feet, it buys you time and you can make a play like that.
Aaron Pierce moves on second down and 8. Here's Charles Way. He won't get anything. Good hustle by Michael Zordich. Practically a linebacker playing strong safety, and he holds Way and the Giants to no gain.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Mike Zordich. You know, Mike Zordich in this defense does a lot of things for Ray Rhodes. The first thing he does, he gets everybody lined up and straightened out there. He can make the adjustments. And then the second thing he does, he's a heck of a good hitter. What he needs to be more consistent with is wrapping his arms. And I talked to him about that just the other day. And he says, you know, sometimes I get so intent on drilling somebody that I just forget.
Third down and 8. The Giants with 3 wide receivers. Lawrence Dawsey is checked in. Dave Brown, and he is sacked. A couple of Eagles, including William Thomas. Sandwiched Dave Brown and a loss that time of 7 yards.
See Don Griffin coming off the corner, and they got the pressure up front, and Dave Brown looking downfield. Really, the coverage was all there. You know, watch him coming off the slot right here. And then William Thomas gets there right after Griffin does. Tyrone Wheatley had to make a choice. He went inside, which you had to do, and then Griffin comes out clean.
Mike Horan will kick it away. Mark Say goes back deep. 3-3 the score. Daloiso with a field goal in the first quarter, and Anderson for the Eagles tied it with a field goal here in the second. And once again, Say calls for the fair catch at about the 13-yard line. The Eagles have not had any kind of field position today, but they're all even with the Giants. We'll be right back.
The Value Drive is on during Oldsmobile's Value Drive sales event. Exceptional quality and value. That's 88 by Oldsmobile. J.D. Power and Associates' best premium midsize car in initial quality. For a limited time, Oldsmobile is clearing out all remaining 96s. And with special factory-to-retailer incentives on new 97 models, you have an even greater opportunity to save. 88 by Oldsmobile. The time to buy is now. The Value Drive is on. See your Oldsmobile retailer today.
So I pull into this gas station. Oh, classic oversqueeze. Watch this. Release the hounds. Perfect pump.
2037.
Even at the gas station, you can do more with the American Express card.
This is my best friend, Bill. We spend a lot of time together. Bill's the reason I've made over 600 tackles. Bill and I grew up together. We hung out in high school, And at Berkeley, we were grooving. That's why I made Bill best man in my wedding. I love you, you big dummy.
Fox NFL Sunday. Hardy Nickerson and the Bucks take on the Cardinals next week. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile retailer. By Nike. By Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. And by Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Back here at Giant Stadium, 4 o'clock Eastern start. The lights were on when the game began. The Eagles have the ball on their 13-yard line. Detmer with a play fake, getting pressure, and gets it off to his tight end, Jason Dunn. And Dunn, short of the first down, is tackled by Marcus Buckley. Let's take a look at the Eagles, who have managed a field goal, but their average starting field position has been their own 14-yard line. The Giants much better where they have started, but each team has managed just a field goal.
Well, and they haven't been helped by their kicking game at all. Hutton shanked one, and then on the kickoff, he shanked that one also. And then, so what that done is that the Giants have been able to punt them back and push them back in their own territory.
2nd down and 3. And the give is to Kevin Turner. And Turner knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, Corey Whitmer did a real nice job.
Penalty flag is down at about the 25-yard line.
That's what Whitmer has to do more of.
And holding is the call against Philadelphia.
See Corey Whitmer. Now, I think Corey Whitmer is just kind of feeling his way. And it's his first year starting inside. And, you know, that's a process. And part of the process is to understand and temper your aggressiveness. Sometimes he kind of waits a little bit too much. And other times, like that last play, he goes and gets it.
During the run, holding, number 87 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal, still 2nd down.
That was the tight end, Jason Dunn, rookie. And that'll be half the distance, as you heard Red Cashin mention. And so Ray Rhodes, who is a stickler, you don't have much room for error with him if you're a member of the Eagles, is really going crazy on the sideline.
Well, you see how much room for error. You're going from there right to the sideline.
2nd down and 13. Short drop and the pass to Fryer. That's the slant plays that the Eagles have devised to get Detmer to release the ball in a hurry, picking up 12 yards. Felipe Sparks and Tito Wooten making the tackle. Wooten back in action this week after suffering a hairline fracture of his right leg against the Jets. Did not play against the Vikings, and Percy Ellsworth took his spot. Wooten playing nickel today. The Eagles need 1 yard. They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. And Detmer will put it up, and he'll go down. That was Chad Bratsky and Michael Strahan, and the first sack of the game for the Giants. Loss of 7 yards.
Bratsky came off the left side. Strahan came off the bottom side. He just beats inside. Now, he just runs through, and Bratsky wins up top. And the difference in this thing is there's coverage down the field. And because of the coverage, you can see that ball almost was a fumble, but he held on to it just at the end.
Giants, though, have done a terrific job against the run, forcing Tom Hutton to kick from the 1 yard line. Amani Toomer is back to return. A good high spiral. Hutton's best kick, and the Toomer, he can break one, given the chance down the sideline. Amani Toomer, 1 man to beat, no flags, he'll score. Touchdown, Giants. "65 yards for Amani Toomer on the punt return."
Coleman Rudolph made the whole play. Rudolph made a block way at the end on Jason Dunn that sprung the whole thing. As soon as he did it, the Eagles sideline exploded. They expected a flag. But Jason Dunn, watch him right here. And there's Coleman Rudolph. Boom, hits him right in the back, gets away with one. It allows Toomer to get to the side. And then he takes it the whole way.
Toomer returned to punt 87 yards in the opening game against the Buffalo Bills here at Giant Stadium. So that is his second return for a touchdown. The rookie from Michigan, and Brad Deloiso perfect with the extra point, and the Giants have taken a 10-3 lead. Spectacular.
And now, from Paris, from Milan, from St. Louis.
Introducing a new look from Budweiser. Born on dating. It's the day your Bud was born, because fresh beer tastes better.
Nice label.
Thanks.
Bold, tastefully done. Critics are raving about 3 The Grown-Up Way. From Mickey D's, producer of the critically acclaimed Arch Deluxe, comes 3 new deluxe sandwiches.
Crispy Chicken Deluxe.
Grilled Chicken Deluxe.
Fish Fillet Deluxe.
And that's an order.
Yes, sir.
Mature taste. Love toppings like whole leaves of lettuce, juicy tomato, tasty sauces, and a fish fillet that's 50% bigger.
You're going down.
3 The Grown-Up Way. An exciting new part of McDonald's lineup.
I'm going in.
Going in with you.
Cars pull up to a stop sign. Do they check each other out? Do they admire the way the other cars move? Wonder what's under the hood? Do they fantasize about the Aurora? Long for its dual overhead cam V8? Or do they just think, yeah?
Here's the rule of special teams. If you see the back of his number, don't block him. You have to see the front of his number. Coleman Rudolph never sees it. Hits him right square in the back and really gets away with one. And that's the key that lets Toomer go down the sideline and score. Look at the back on the side. You can see the sideline of Philadelphia Eagles. They just erupted because it happened right in front of them.
The Giants in front 10-3. Amani Toomer, who is struggling as a receiver, but he has done the job big time as a kick returner for the Giants. And Brad Deloiso will kick off. This crowd enjoying the first half, and it goes into the end zone. Weatherspoon was there at the goal line, and the Eagles will take it over on the 20-yard line.
There's only one full-size pickup that's best in initial quality. Chevy CK. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
It can't be. I got to see. It is the 365.
Boss, give a look. Ugye ez egy IBM ThinkPad 365-ös.
Az bizony.
It could be no other. Feel the track point. Feast your eyes on the screen. Can we swing it, boss, huh?
Meglepően olcsó.
Yeah. That's my boss. What a guy, huh?
Can't believe he broke it at the company picnic.
Incredible. Our employee health plan covers him, right?
Not deductibles or co-payments.
So he has to lay out his own money.
Your health plan can work better with Aflac. Supplemental insurance from Aflac helps cover the unexpected costs of recovery so you can give your employees the protection they need and deserve.
Any ideas?
Yeah, Aflac.
Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
If you don't know Ned Dorsey, you should.
You're in high spirits tonight.
Well, yeah, gonna have me some sex.
Ned and Stacy premiere soon on Fox.
6:34 remaining in the second quarter. The Giants lead the Eagles 10-3 on a special teams touchdown. And the Eagles will start from the 20-yard line. Ty Detmer, who's completed 6 of 10 for 77 yards thus far. His first NFL start. And he gives it to Ricky Waters. Waters has 7 carries for 23 yards thus far in the game. And today's Aflac trivia question is between 1972 and 1974. 3 different Eagles led the NFC in receptions. Who were they? We'll have our answer coming up.
Nailed this one. I owned it. Just like I'd like to own that thing right there.
I was going to say, as a result of you nailing it, you get a free cruise.
Well, thank you very much. I'll take it.
2nd down and 6 on the 24 with 6 minutes to go in the half. Detmer on an out. Hits Chris T. Jones, 1st down and out of bounds.
Dick, I can tell you, that's exactly what the New York Giants were going to say. We're going to let Detmer beat us with that because we don't quite trust how strong his arm is. So we're going to make him beat us with this pass. So you're going to give up the out, but we're going to take away any of the inside slants and stuff. Chris T. Jones is really coming on for this Philadelphia Eagle football team.
Leads him in receiving, but that was his first catch of the game. Good for 11 yards. 1st down at the 35 of Philadelphia. And the give to Ricky Waters. Waters always dangerous against the Giants. Last year ran 57 yards from scrimmage for a touchdown. He was limited to 5 yards with Michael Strahan that time making the play.
But you see, that's why he's a hybrid in this league. Because right there, he gave you his Barry Sanders. And then at other times that he can be just a big fullback inside. He'll be power guy. But he's got this. Look at these feet. So you don't find he's on a 235-pound guy. And that's what makes him so special. He got 5 yards out of nothing.
2 tight ends and 2 backs. And Jimmy Johnson, one of the tight ends in motion. 2nd and 6. And a good play made by Michael Strahan as he came in and cut down Ricky Waters. Strahan playing a superb game, and so far the Giants have limited Ricky Waters, who has a history of doing big damage against the Giants.
He's been a giant killer, basically running. Every time that he's had a chance, an opportunity to run against the New York Giants, he's had big days. You can see 100, 118, 122. I mean, all those times, remember this one with the 5 touchdowns in San Francisco.
3rd down and 4 from the 41. Fryer in motion. Detmer trying to go to Johnson, the tight end, incomplete, broken up by Marcus Buckley. Tell you, the Giants secondary doing a great job on the Eagle wide receivers, forcing Detmer to go the other way.
Well, they're playing good defense, period. I mean, they've been taking away the run, and they've been attacking up front with stunts, and this ball has to be caught. I mean, that being said, a nice job, Marcus Buckley, right there on the coverage to make sure the ball's not grabbed by Jimmy Johnson, number 88.
So Tom Hutton will be back to kick, and Amani Toomer, who returned the last punt 65 yards for a touchdown, is back deep. And a great kick by Hutton. And Toomer is just going to let that go into the end zone. That was a spectacular booming kick, 59 yards for Tom Hutton. Giants ball at the 20 when we come back.
It's a fun game. You get to carry a bag, get good exercise, and you get to hit a golf ball and try to make it in this little hole. I think I'm a good golfer, but I need a lot of improvement. I want to win all the big tournaments, the major ones. And I hope to play well when I get older and beat all the pros.
It's warfare.
Gangbanging, that was my job. 24/7, I used to have to watch my back.
Religious warfare.
From director Spike Lee.
I'd rather be with the homies kicking it.
Comes a story of 12 men.
My father was a cop. He got murdered. Was it a brother that killed your father?
Who got on a bus.
We could be on our way to getting done.
And found out what was worth fighting for.
Kill or be killed.
I ain't going nowhere.
Get on the Bus, a Spike Lee joint, rated R. At theaters Wednesday.
It's the only one out there. And here it comes. The only compact pickup to offer a third door. Okay, folks, show's over. Chevy S10, like a rock.
And tonight, Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. The Atlanta Braves, the defending world champions, against the Cardinals. The Braves trailing St. Louis 2-1. That's following football tonight. Meanwhile, this crowd is being entertained today by the Giants and the Yankees, who are leading the Baltimore Orioles 6-0. If they win, they will wrap up the American League pennant. Cecil Fielder and Darryl Strawberry have homered, and the straw man hit 2 yesterday in the victory over Baltimore. Here's Tyrone Wheatley trying to go left as the Giants have their worst starting field position, the 20-yard line, and loses 2 yards. That was Bobby Taylor forcing from the secondary.
And one of the things that the Philadelphia Eagles are happy to get back is Andy Harmon inside number 91. Now, Harmon had arthroscopic knee surgery, and they're hoping that he can get back to where he had been. Watched him in practice this week. He still wasn't the same guy, but he's taking some time. He's going to have to ease into that thing.
But the Eagles sorely need him up front. 2nd down and 12. Brown hangs in the pocket, tipped and nearly intercepted. Pass was intended for Callaway.
Troy Vincent was all over that coverage, and I'll tell you, they were all over Andy Harmon up front. Brian Williams goes over and slides. Ron Stone picks him up. As you can see, they just kind of bury him in there. I want you to watch Troy Vincent and how he breaks in this football on Callaway. Just being patient. That's called patient aggressiveness. You know the ball's coming. You know you have to make a play, but you have to wait. And then when it finally gets there, you make your move.
That's why the Eagles got a sought-after cornerback as a free agent from Miami. 3rd down and 12 on the 18. And Dave Brown, with the clock running down to about 1 second, calls timeout. 3 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Giants lead.
What do you want to see on Fox NFL Sunday?
We do some stand-up skits, you know, dress up, cross-dress, that kind of stuff.
Well, you know, JB is Jane Brown.
Yeah.
I really would like to see you in some tight little Speedos with some oil and...
You know, every show should have a little faith in it.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Fox NFL Sunday. Next week, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Can I have an amen?
Now, this is the question that Matt Millen, who's not normally a trivia buff, nailed easily. Our Aflac trivia question again. Between 1972 and 1974, 3 different Eagles led the NFC in receptions. Who were they? There they are. Harold Jackson, Harold Carmichael, and Charlie Young. And that's how he spelled his name.
Thank you very much there, Nabby.
And we'll give you the prizes that you win a little later on. 3rd and 12. Here comes the blitz, Zordich. It's picked up. But Dave Brown seemingly running in circles and finally goes out of bounds. He had nowhere to go to. Red Hall did the chasing and a gain of 9 yards after all of that.
Well, that was good football. I'll tell you why it was good football. First, they went with the zone blitz inside, and then they had the coverage down the field. Watch Bobby Taylor work. Now, at this point, he realizes he's got to come back to the ball, but here's the rule. See, once they break the pocket, you latch on to your receivers. Look at him push underneath. Dawkins latches on his guy. Now watch how everybody goes to a man. Daryl Boykin, now they're running around, jump on Dawson. Once you lock on the receivers, there's no place to throw the football.
That was textbook play in the secondary for the Eagles. Moran's kick to Marseille, who's hit immediately. And down, and a great play made by Conrad Hamilton. And there's a flag down. Holding will be the penalty against the Giants.
They'll take that thing over again.
Conrad Hamilton, one of the good-looking rookies from East New Mexico. 7th round draft choice. This is a young Giant club coming off a 5-11 season, but looking to even things at 3-3 today. Dan Reeves' team playing a game in Washington next week against the Redskins.
Dan
Holding
Reeves.
number 91 by the kickers. 10 yards, still 4th down.
That's Coleman Rudolph, the guy who got away with the clip earlier. You know, I look at Dan Reeves. The one thing that always strikes me about him that he brought from Tom Landry is he's impeccably dressed all the time. And the only thing missing is that hat. But, I mean, every time I see that guy on the sideline, you know, it's no coaching shirt and a Giant stuff like that. He's always dressed head to toe, as opposed to Ray. You know, Ray's a pure football guy. I mean, he's a step away from putting the helmet right back on.
And he used to wear the blue and red helmet of the Giants.
Natalie attire.
Horan will kick again following the holding penalty, and Say looking to give the Eagles good field position, returning. Mark Say trying to turn the corner, and Coleman Rudolph, who was guilty of that last penalty, makes the stop. And a 52-yard kick, 14-yard return by Say. And Ray Rhodes, as we mentioned, a draft pick back at 74 by the Giants. Played 2 positions here.
Well, he said he had some great memories down here, and he also had some rough memories as well. But it's easy watching. Watch him on this play. See how he used a push-off? It's easy when you watch Ray Rhodes as a player to see what kind of a coach he's going to be. Because he's a tough guy, and he understands the game. And he'll do what it takes to have to win.
Told us yesterday, he says, I once dropped a pass wide open looking up in the sun against the Redskins, hit me square in the face. I'll never forget it. First down, Giants, or Eagles on the 45-yard line. Chris T. Jones double covered, but Detmer's throw was awry, and that'll bring up second down.
Tell you, watching the New York Giants, and the one thing that really stands out in this defense is the play of their corners. I think Philippi Sparks is a pretty good football player. And he's not the biggest guy, but he's a physical guy. And he plays with great confidence. And he's very, very competitive. Last week he went against the Minnesota Vikings and really played a tremendous football game.
Big interception on the pass intended for Carter. Detmer gets hit as he lets go of it. And Chris T. Jones nearly made the play. Thomas Randolph was back deep covering. And it was Jason Sehorn who put the pressure on Ty Detmer.
They come with a blitz on Detmer, and Detmer and the Philadelphia Eagles were expecting this. Bring Widmer inside, and that allows Sehorn to come clean. Now he feels that pressure, and he lays it out there for Chris Jones to get to the top side. He's working on Randolph, and you know what? That ball's got to be caught. Tell you, he's going to come to the sideline, and the coach will get on, and he's going to go home, and his mom's really going to get on.
The Eagles so for 5 on third down conversions. They need 10 yards. Mark Ingram in the game as a wide receiver. Pass is tipped incomplete.
Had Ingram wide open.
And Michael Strahan might have been the guy. We'll take another look. But once again, the knock on Ty Detmer is that if he doesn't have the passing lanes, you can get a hand up and tip the ball.
Now, Robert Harris, number 97, the guy who got his hand up there and knocked that thing down. And he had Ingram wide open. But a nice job of just getting your hands up and being aware. And the funny thing is, you know, usually, and Detmer knows, see, he had Ingram wide open, but usually when a guy blocks at the line of scrimmage, it means he hasn't gotten off the line of scrimmage.
Tom Hutton will kick from the 30-yard line. And Amani Toomer already with a punt return. This is a low line drive return, and a flag is down. Toomer returned 165 yards for the touchdown to give the Giants their margin, and the penalty will be against Philadelphia.
It's going to be holding on Philadelphia. And last time there was a hold to Coleman Rudolph for the Giants. That ended up being a 25-yard penalty in field position.
Holding by the kickers, number 56. That penalty is declined. That's the 2-minute warning.
And with 1:55 remaining, the 2-minute warning, and we'll return to Giant Stadium after this.
FedEx has over 35,000 trucks to handle your 2-day package. Cost about $12.
UPS has over 130,000 trucks for your 2-day package. Cost about $6.
The U.S. Postal Service has over 200,000 trucks for your Priority Mail 2 to 3-day package. Cost $3.
So, 12, 6, 3, what's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Subway bakes my bread up fresh, and that's my way. My way.
It's back! The A1 Steak and Cheese from Subway, smothered with original A1 steak sauce. Plus, your choice of garden fresh veggies. And for a limited time, you can get the A1 Steak and Cheese meal deal. That means you get a 6-inch sub, a bag of chips, and a 21-ounce drink for just $3.99. in for Subway's A1 Steak and Cheese Meal Deal. Only $3.99.
A series of murders unsolved and a shocking ending that's unbelievable.
Whoa!
A brand new X-Files, Friday.
On Fox, NFL Sunday, see the pregame team that's not afraid to step up to the line and tell it like it is.
Can you tackle? I want to see some guys tackle. If you can show me a tackle, let me know today.
Then, Eric Metcalf leads the Falcons against the Cowboys' triple threat offense of Aikman, Irvin, and Smith. Or Brown, Hampton, and the New York Giants take on Terry Allen and the red-hot Redskins. Fox, NFL Sunday. Next week. Check local listings.
Coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime, JB and Terry will bring you all the scores and highlights from week number 7 of this NFL season. All that and more on the Dockers Khakis halftime report.
Amani Toomer had that big punt return. A lot of fans would like to see him get involved in this offense, and they still don't have quite the amount of confidence they'd like in it. They just feel that he has to learn this offense a little bit better before they put him out there in game situations.
Giants following the 2-minute warning with a first down on their 25. A play action pass, and it's dropped. It should have been caught, and it was dropped by Thomas Lewis. He was there. Let's take a look, Matt, as you looked at Amani Toomer as his 65-yard punt return to give the Giants their 7-point lead.
Well, it's a key play, but watch right there. You see that was a clip in the back, but all he needed was one block to spring him, and then Toomer did the rest. He has the speed. He has great vision. And they need that on a special. Really, that's been their whole offense in the first half. It's been Amani Toomer in that return.
The Eagles have the edge in total yardage, but the Giants have the points. Slant pass caught by Thomas Lewis. The clock continues to run now with 1:42. Giants have 2 timeouts remaining, leading 10-3. It'll be 3rd down and short for New York.
They're not going to their hurry up. They're going to wait. In fact, they're going to waste a timeout right here.
And that'll leave them with 1 timeout remaining. We'll be right back.
You know, I'm sick of playing defense. You offensive guys get all the glory. You get to be on the field when they score the touchdown. You guys get to do all the fun dances they do in the end zone. Well, enough is enough. I'm making a big switch from defense to offense. This is much better.
Fox NFL Sunday. Mike Strahan and the Giants take on the Redskins next week.
Ooh, Dave Brown is not a happy camper about that timeout. He's mad about personnel. He's mad about play selection. And I think he's just a little bit PO'd right there.
You know, he was talking to us. He sees all those spectacular highlights in the evening after the day's games. He says, you know, I wonder why we can't get involved in those. But it's not that easy, is it?
Well, and there's a lot of things going on in that offense. You know, that offensive line is young. Before you start doing things in the passing game.
Whoa, 3rd and 1, Tyrone Wheatley.
And that offensive line, which they're not real confident with in the passing game all the time, just came through with Tyrone Wheatley to give him a big first down.
And the hurry-up offense this time with 1:10. Giants with 1 timeout remaining. Play fake, 1st and 10 at the 45, and here is Brown taking off, spinning his way to midfield. 5 yards shy of the first down. Michael Zordich in on the play, and under a minute remaining. And finally, the clock stops, and the Giants have used up their 3rd and final timeout of this first half.
That timeout I don't like. That timeout, I would have just...
The best part of playing in the NFL is when I get to go home.
Here we go.
And my town is so small that in high school I had to play all the positions.
He plays all the positions.
Tuggle snaps to Tuggle. Tuggle throws.
It's a basket. Jesse, he's our man. He can't do it. Nobody can. Like we have a choice. Oh, yeah.
Fox NFL Sunday. Jesse Tuggle and the Falcons take on the Cowboys next week.
Under a minute to go. You said you didn't like that last timeout. I can't blame you because they don't have one now to set up a field goal.
Yeah, and then you could have just, in 2nd down, you could have just downed the clock quick.
2nd down and 5 at midfield. Play fake. Dave Brown going down.
Now that I don't get either. Now you go play action when you know you have to throw. Who you fooling? That one makes no sense to me. But I'm a fat old linebacker. What the heck do I know? I probably would have bid on the play action.
I think you're a closet coach, and I think you have an idea of what should have happened on a situation like that, where the Giants could have.
I mean, there
had a timeout.
Yeah, you had your field, you had the timeout, and you take it, and then you set this up anyway, and so that timeout did you no good.
That sack was by Rhett Hall, the 3rd of the game by the Eagles. Brings up 3rd down and 8. Lawrence Dawsey goes in motion and going deep, wide open and overthrown for Thomas Lewis. He had beaten the defense by a good 10 yards, but that ball wasn't anywhere near him.
He got by the corner, Troy Vincent, and the safety was in the middle of the field. Vincent missed his jam, and then the safety never got there. Dawkins was in the middle. You're going to see Dawkins. He's going to miss the jam up top. He's going to get over the top. And then Dawkins goes to the middle, and look, there's nothing there. Nothing whatsoever.
So with 4th down and 25 seconds remaining, Mike Horan to kick. Mark Say returning for the Eagles. Say, fair catch at the 11. And 17 seconds remain in the first half, and once again the Eagles have a lot of real estate to cover. Let's jump ahead and look at next week's schedule. The NFL on Fox. Most of you will see the Atlanta Falcons against the Dallas Cowboys. Michael Irvin returned today, and the Cowboys beat the Cardinals. And of course, Matt will be at RFK Stadium. Giants and Redskins. Redskins won the first meeting here at Giant Stadium, but obviously this is a different Giant team, and obviously the Redskins with 5 wins in a row feeling great about themselves.
Well, and this guy here couldn't wait to get to the Washington Redskins. We talked about it in the bye week, and he said we're a better football team than the one that played them the last time.
He can't wait. 1st and 10, and Fryer drops the pass.
Detmer's had some guys, and he's been off. Balls have come off high on him. He's had open guys. A couple times they've been batted down. The receivers have been open, but Detmer just has been off in this first half.
Fryer, who suffered a sprained left ankle, made a great catch, and Keith Elias was out with a sprained ankle for the Giants. Those are Detmer's numbers thus far. But the key for the Giants, they have really shut down the running game of the Eagles. 2nd down and 10 from the 12. On the draw play, here's Ricky Waters. Well, Waters with a good run and a 1st down. And the clock working against the Eagles. There is 6 seconds remaining, and the Eagles will call a timeout. That is their first timeout.
Fryer is down again.
He suffered that ankle sprain, had to go into the locker room, came back and made that spectacular one-handed catch, and now shaken up once more.
And I think about Irvin Fryer, when you look at him, he's so physical, and he's not afraid to be physical. And where it really shows up for a receiver is in the running game, where they'll go down. It looks like they're going to look at that left ankle again. He'll go down and he'll lay some people out.
One of the veterans on this Eagle wide receiving core. Remember, they had the Calvin Williams, Fred Barnett were fixtures in Philadelphia, but Ray Rhodes has changed all that. He's gone to Fryer, and the other wide receiver, Mark Ingram, who hasn't played much as a veteran. Mark Say was brought in as a 3rd man, and of course Chris T. Jones, apparently their top target.
And this guy probably has the most speed of those receivers down the field. And today they haven't really used any of that. What they've been doing is throwing underneath it and trying to control the football with the short passing game and then the running game.
If you've just joined us, the Giants lead the Eagles 10-3. 6 seconds to go in the half. Irving Fryer shaken up.
So we talk about the watch number 80 right there. See, because of his toughness and his willingness to go inside, I mean, he'll throw his body around in there. And really, he got caught up in the wash. And he'd hurt that left ankle earlier in the football game and just jumped right back into it.
Brad DeLuiso gave the Giants a 3-0 lead on a 39-yard field goal in the first quarter. Gary Anderson tied it with a 39-yarder in the second quarter. The difference in the game thus far, Amani Toomer with a 65-yard punt return for a touchdown in the second quarter to give the Giants a 10-3 lead. The Giants defense has been terrific. They have not allowed a touchdown in nearly 10 quarters of play. They are 6 seconds away from not allowing a TD in 6 quarters. So that has been the key to bringing the Giants back from an 0-3 start.
It really has. And then also the play of their secondary has they've been playing very, very well. And you get a couple of pressures out there by Strahan on one side, and then that secondary plan, Ellsworth doing a good job, Tito Wooten in there, got Philippi Sparks, Randolph on the other side, Jesse Campbell. All of them have played very, very well.
6 seconds remaining in the first half. First down on the 23, and they'll give it to Ricky Waters, and that'll take care of the half as Sparks makes the tackle. And that is the end of the first half with the score, the Giants 10 and the Eagles 3. JB and Terry will be along from the Fox Television Center with the Dockers Khakis halftime report following these messages from your local Fox station.
For all the day's highlights and scores, watch Sports Sunday tonight on the Fox 10 o'clock news.
How have Heckinger's low prices affected you?
Well, that's where I bought my lawnmower. Saved plenty. And they had such a great price on fertilizer and lawn food. I couldn't help myself. Bought 50 bags.
Heckinger prices are too low to resist, like a 5-year 40-gallon gas water heater for a low $144 and shredded hardwood mulch an amazing $1.98.
Grasshoppers.
Heckinger, the low price keeps you coming back.
We've got to move fast, Kirby. I hope you booked Hertz.
Not exactly, but this company's fast.
As fast as Hertz #1 club goal?
Not exactly, but they do have a special place to pick up the car.
Like Hertz?
Not exactly, but it'll be waiting.
Under a canopy? With the keys in it?
Not exactly.
And protected from the weather?
Not exactly.
Counting on that promotion, Kirby?
No, not exactly.
Now Hertz gives triple frequent flyer miles on weekend and weekly rentals.
Here is the future. It is you. It is your wild ideas, your relentless wonder, and your imagination. It is you who will shape the future. You will have the tools.
Want to know what's new at your Ford dealer? Well, check it out.
The all-new 97 Ford Escort, totally redesigned with safety cell construction and standard dual airbags. A 25% more powerful engine without sacrificing fuel economy. Escort, a smoother, quieter ride. Now get $500 cash back on a 97 Ford Escort.
It's time to see what's new at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Halftime report. Brought to you by Dockers Khakis. More looks than a halfback triple option. Hey, nice pants.
And welcome to Hollywood with a quick trip around the NFL. We'll show you that the Giants are leading 10-3 over the Eagles. Giants have not allowed a rushing touchdown in the last 10 quarters. Raiders 20-0 over the Lions. That at the half. Cowboys win their 12th straight over the Arizona Cardinals, 17-3. The Redskins improve to 5-1 with the victory over New England. The Saints field goal win it in that one. The Buccaneers upset the Minnesota Vikings. St. Louis drops one big time to the Carolina Panthers. Steelers with 10 sacks in its victory over the Bengals. Miami, Jimmy Johnson's team, 21-7 over Buffalo. And the Falcons still struggling, winless at 0-6. Jets led at 14-3, wind up losing by 4 to the Jaguars. Some of you will go to your local news. Others will rejoin Terry and me in a moment.
Dogs and mad dogs, these guys are skin dogs. They'll make you break my back. La Russa's planning.
defending champion Braves take on the Cardinals tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox.
Like most kids, I grew up with a lot of dreams. It just took dedication to make them come true. I had a very special teacher back at Pemberton High. She taught me to push myself and to stretch my mind. She made me understand that I could accomplish anything on or off the field.
Irv Smith and the NFL salute Judy Cinnamon, the Teacher of the Month.
Congratulations, Mrs. Cinnamon, and thanks for everything.
On Independence Day, they arrived.
Well, what's happening? Is it noon already?
This Halloween, they attack.
Don't eat me! I have a wife and kids! Eat them!
October 27th is...
What am I doing? What will I do?
The day Homer fights back.
No!
On a brand new Simpsons Halloween special, October...
This is a 10 o'clock news halftime report.
Good afternoon, I'm Joyce Evans.
And I'm Rich Noonan. Here's what's happening. A bomb scare on board a U.S. Air jetliner from Philadelphia to Los Angeles caused some terror in the skies this morning. Police say Richard Josephson of Maple Avenue in Wilmington told someone on U.S. Air Flight 17 that he had a bomb. The pilot quickly landed in Dayton, Ohio. The 109 people on board bailed out using the emergency slides. There were some minor injuries. Josephson's in jail. No bomb was found. U.S. Air sent another plane to take the passengers on to L.A.
A shooting incident this afternoon in Warrington, Bucks County has left one man dead. Authorities responding to a report of an unruly crowd on the Oxford Circle found 2 people with gunshot wounds. An unspecified number of people were wounded. Who shot the gun and why is still unclear at this hour, although neighbors say drug-related activity is common in that area.
Pope John Paul II gave his Sunday blessing from his hospital window today. The 76-year-old pontiff joked about his latest hospital stay in his first public appearance since his appendectomy last week. The Vatican is not confirming a New York Times report claiming that the Pope has Parkinson's disease. Republican presidential candidate Bob Dole spent his Sunday in New Jersey. Dole was joined by Governor Whitman during several stops in North and Central Jersey. He talked about honesty and morality, but did not attack President Clinton's character, as many in his own party have advised him to do with less than a month until Election Day.
Well, Philadelphians celebrated the man who sailed the ocean blue in 1492 with the annual Columbus Day Parade. Thousands of people turned out for today's march down Broad Street through South Philadelphia. It was also a day for Italian Americans to show pride in one of Italy's favorite sons, the man credited with discovering America. Tomorrow is the official Columbus Day holiday. And that is it for now. Complete news, weather, and sports tonight after baseball, the Braves and Cardinals playoff game.
Tim the Tool Man is stopping by Monday night at 6 and 7 on Home Improvement.
Recently, Viterra Group went all blue by offering their employees health plans from Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
The folks at Blue Cross have been great to Viterra Group.
Blue Cross is a company that's a pleasure to do business with.
I didn't have a lot of money, but I wanted a good plan, so I chose Keystone, and I really like it.
Blue Cross is great for my family. I'd recommend Keystone Health Insurance to anyone. It's a great plan.
Go all blue with Keystone Health Plan East, Personal Choice, and our traditional plan from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the folks you can lean on.
At PNC Bank, we can tell a lot about our customers by their signatures. This large loop indicates a traditionalist, someone who enjoys going to her local branch. This tight spacing indicates an active lifestyle, definitely someone who prefers to bank by phone. No matter which way you want to bank, this low rate on a home equity loan indicates an easy way to consolidate all your bills. To apply, just give us a call. You're an individual. Bank the way you want.
Some of the names that make up the history of Philadelphia medicine are now making up its future. Introducing Allegheny University of the Health Sciences and Allegheny University Hospitals. A new name for a new era in healthcare. Allegheny, the next level of care.
From the people who brought you one clever idea after another comes the Plymouth Voyager Plus sale. Right now, you can get a Plymouth Voyager plus $1,250 in package values at no extra charge. You get air conditioning, 7-passenger seating, and more for this great price during the Plymouth Voyager Plus sale. Another clever way to save.
See your neighborly Chrysler and Plymouth dealers for the official cars of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Halftime here at Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where the Giants lead the Eagles 10-3 after an exchange of field goals. The difference in the game has been Amani Toomer's 65-yard punt return.
A nice job of just following his blocks and then getting to the outside. And once he got to the sideline, it was over. I mean, we can't talk about this play really without talking about the block in the back up the field on Jason Dunn. It's interesting at halftime. I saw Wellington Mara, the owner of the football Giants. He said, I saw the cut, but I hope they didn't see it.
He was happy. He dodged that one. Giants lead 10-3. We'll be back.
Two nearly identical Porsche 911s. One destined for Le Mans, the other for a quieter life in America. But then again, expecting any Porsche to lead a quiet life may be asking a bit too much.
Hi.
Porsche, there is no substitute.
No, this one's on us, sir.
Right. With football, you have all sorts of injuries. Here we have Bruce Smith maintaining that knee. This is Thurman Thomas's Hammett bone fracture, metatarsus fracture. Oh, here's an interesting one. Hey, Bruce.
Huh?
Remember this?
Oh, yeah. That was the rookie that used to dial 0 instead of 1-800-COLLECT. He could have saved me up to 44%. Big rookie mistake. 1-800-COLLECT. Save the people you call up to 44%.
Hey, Nate.
How you doing? How you doing?
You look tremendous.
Thank you.
I swear, there's something different this year. You're faster, you're stronger. What'd you do?
I think it's the extra weight I lost, boss.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I see it, sure.
Fox, NFL Sunday. The Falcons take on Nate Newton and the Cowboys next week.
Welcome back to Giants Stadium, getting ready for the start of the third quarter with the Giants leading the Philadelphia Eagles 10-3 along with Matt Millen. I'm Dick Stockton. At the outset, we knew about the Ty Detmer move, the first time he's ever started a game, and the fact that the Giants had to stop the running game of Ricky Waters. What's happened in the half?
Well, I think early first of all, the Giant defense have played very, very well. And I think that's number one. And I think the second thing that's happened is that Ty Detmer is starting to figure out what his game is all about. And also John Gruden, the offensive coordinator, is figuring out Ty Detmer. So I would expect them to open this offense up a little bit more in the second half. That being said, I think the New York Football Giants are playing very good defense.
I tell you, they've been playing good defense for quite a while. They have not allowed a touchdown in their last 3 games, including the 2 quarters. This is up to date right now. Look at the third down conversions, total yards, passing yards. This has been a great turnaround for the Giants, who are trying to win their 3rd in a row after dropping their first 3.
Yeah, especially down here in third down. I mean, that's where you really have third down is the down in all of football. I mean, first and second really sets up third. 19% on third down conversions is just outstanding. I mean, you can continue to do that, you're going to win a lot of football games.
Ty Detmer 7 of 16 for 88 yards. Irving Fryer caught 4 passes to lead the parade. There you see the overall team statistics in the half.
And again, here's the key. Look at this. 0 for 6 on third down. That goes right up here to that Giant defense. And then, of course, the field position, or you can see average start on the 19-yard line for the Eagles, and the Giants starting at the 36. Now, the Giant offense hasn't been anything to write home about, but defensively, they've been kicking some rear ends.
And we mentioned Fryer with 4 catches for 56 yards. He had sprained an ankle and then seemed to injure his left leg again just before the end of the half. So the Eagles will get the ball first in the second half. Brad Daloiso will kick off. Derek Witherspoon and Mark Say are back for the Eagles. Line drive kick into the end zone, and Witherspoon will run it out from 5 yards in. Witherspoon, who leads the NFL in kickoff returns, ran it out and got to about the 17, where Scott Gallion making the play. 21-yard return.
Watch Scott Gallion. It's about special teams. Special teams is so much about wanting to get there and make the tackle, and then being aware of what's happening in front of you and to you. Now Jimmy Johnson's going to try to block him. He knows where his help is, so he runs to the inside and then just get right in on that tackle. And then you got people up front doing that, then you know your kicker can look pretty good behind you.
Eagles start from the 17. We mentioned they had poor field position in the entire first half. Ricky Waters looking for running room. Waters gained 47 yards on 11 carries. That's a pretty solid average per rush, but it's deceiving because the Eagles really didn't break much running in the first half.
And he got probably 15 to 18 of them right before the half, those last 2 carries. That being said, Ricky Waters is still the running game of the Philadelphia Eagles and will continue to be.
Mentioned Irving Fryer out with the injury, and Mark Say has replaced him. He's split wide to the right. 2nd down and 7. Chris T. Jones, the other receiver, to the top. And again, they go to Ricky Waters, and he is hit hard, gets a couple of extra yards. And it was Jesse Armstead who got to him first. Big play linebacker for the Big Blue.
Well, you see him getting up and he's shaking that arm because there's not a lot of him. I mean, what Jesse Armstead had, he's all of about 232 is what he tells us. I mean, he admits to that, but I don't think he's that big. And he doesn't look that big when you sit there and talk to him. But what he has is great vision in the passing game. By the way, it's great instinct also.
Yeah, he's returned a touchdown catch for last 2 seasons, 1 in each of the last 2 years. Eagles are 0 for 6 on 3rd downs. They need 6 yards here. Here's Felipe Sparks, and Ty Detmer gets away and will get the first down. Detmer with his first rush up the middle of the game and picks up 9.
Well, they come with it off the corner. They come with the blitz. You're going to watch them down here. Any time that you have inside receivers and they're tight to your line of scrimmage, you got to be aware of them. Ty Detmer said last week in that Dallas game, he looked and he never saw him again. This time, Detmer is aware of him and gets out of the trouble, and because of the man coverage, he's able to pick up that first down.
Eagles now at their 30-yard line. Pass to the left side to Chris T. Jones, and Jason Sehorn jars the ball loose, but it is still Eagles ball.
Part of quarterbacking is being aware. And Ty Detmer came into the game on Monday night, and he wasn't aware at all of the defense, particularly off the corner. You can watch him right down here. Woodson came off the corner. Detmer never saw him. He's looking to the left the whole time, and because he said he was rusty, he never saw Woodson. What the result of that was, he kind of got his brain scrambled. They were calling plays from BYU days, he said.
Yeah, he didn't remember the rest of the game from that point on. 2nd down and 3. After the 7-yard pickup, and Ricky Waters is trapped by Michael Strahan.
They're playing good up front.
I tell you, Strahan's run defense has been terrific today.
And they've been trying to go over there out to that side. They're trying to run behind Cooper and Lester Holmes. But the defense of the Giants, led by their coordinator Mike Nolan, you can see him right there, really has this Philadelphia Eagle down pretty well.
Son of Dick Nolan, former Giant defensive back in their salad days. 3rd down and 6 on the 34. Ty Detmer's pass is dropped by Kevin Turner.
Good coverage again. Jesse Armstead right there on Kevin Turner. I mean, the key to good coverage is making that, you have to make the ball, if it's going to be catchable, it has to be a really hard catch. Watch Jesse Armstead by position. He runs underneath, gets the arms outstretched. That should have been caught. But it would have been had to be a good throw and a good catch. Armstead does what he does well. Great coverage.
So Tom Hutton will be kicking. His net has been a little over 27.5 yards. He had struggled in the half. Amani Toomer back deep. Low spiral. Toomer from the 18. looking for running room. And will be tackled at the 26-yard line. And that's where the Giants will go to work. 49-yard kick. Well, Irving Fryer thinks he can get back in there.
You got a good life. You've come so far. But you're still going. That's just the way you are. It's so exciting. It's so inviting. It's making whoopee. Love to dine, a little luxury to help you to unwind. So turn the heat up and pull your seat up and make some whoopee. And when you go for a long drive, you know you'll feel like a star. And all this comfort and luxury, that's just where you are. Another ride, there's so much room. Another lovely afternoon. Don't need a reason. It's just a season for making whoopee.
The brand new DeVille for the time of your life.
Fresh and Shotline, what's the problem?
Man, my party is lame. I think I got some skunky beer.
Sir, relax. When was your beer born?
Born? What are you talking about?
It doesn't have a born-on date?
A what?
Do you have any Budweiser?
No, man, you gotta help me.
Okay, remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Go! Sir, put down the skunky beer and slowly back away.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealers. By Degree, the body heat activated antiperspirant and deodorant. By Zantac 75, the final word in acid relief. And by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more.
Well, a glimpse eye view of Giant Stadium, and we've seen the New York skyline as well from the Fujifilm blimp. Doing a great job today. Fans filling the place, excited. The Giants lead 10-3, and they have the ball on their 26. First down, here's Rodney Hampton. Hampton, who gained 40 yards on 9 carries in the first half, picks up 5. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Take a look at the Oakland Raiders doing the job to Detroit. 58 yards. Hostetler to Jet. And Oakland's all over Detroit, 27-0. Let's take it back to Dick and Matt.
Now, Matt, that could be good news for the Packers with the Vikings getting beat today and the Lions getting whomped. Green Bay against San Francisco tomorrow night at Lambeau Field. And Hampton again, no gain, will bring up 3rd down and 5. Rhett Hall was making the play.
Yeah, and also the guy who really kind of stacks things up is Andy Hartman, number 91 inside, working on Brian Williams, the center. This is just strength on strength, and you tested that knee and you push the pocket and then you hold the point. I'm going to tell you, that is good grunt football down there. I mean, that's something that never shows up inside. But Andy Hartman just snooted his way into a tackle.
Snooted, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's like a hog. You know, that's what they are down there, just hogs.
3rd and 5, Tyrone Wheatley in as the 3rd down back for the Giants, number 28. Brown with a short drop. When he starts spinning around like that, you know he's going down.
Well, there's also no place to throw the football.
William Fuller with the sack, the 4th for the Eagles.
You know, this is one thing I don't get right here. I mean, they're running deeper patterns. You're going to watch these guys. Everybody's going to end up down the field. Mamula's going to come off the corner. Fuller on the other side. Now it's time to throw the football. Look, here. Everybody has coverage.
Plenty of time.
To be honest with you, Brown never looked to the left side. It was always up to the right side. And there was good coverage, nowhere to throw the ball.
Mike Horan will kick it away. Mark Say. It's by one defender and is finally hit hard, and he is knocked into the ground. 35-yard line. Jesse Campbell. Boy, he must have gone down a few inches on the turf.
Let's go, guys.
Now that Sprint is the official telecommunications provider to the NFL, the teams can do business in a whole new way.
Now here's the play. Toss 38 on 2.
Right, Coach. They can use Sprint Broadcast Fax.
Hey, guys.
Data networking.
I just cracked their defense. Get out of the way. Can't see.
And video conferencing.
Go, go, go!
Sprint helps the whole NFL win. Let us help your business do more business. Call Sprint Business.
McDonald's introduces the Crispy Chicken Deluxe. Fresh toppings and a whole breast filet from a more sophisticated kind of chicken. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Presenting a great leap forward in batteries. Introducing Duracell Power Check, the only battery with a fuel gauge, so you can see how much power it has. New Duracell Power Check, the world's most advanced battery.
The pressure's on as the Braves take on the Cards in Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. Tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox. On Fox, NFL Sunday, see the pregame team that's not afraid to step up to the line and tell it like it is.
Can you tackle? I want to see some guys tackle. If you can show me a tackle, let me know today.
Then, Eric Metcalf leads the Falcons against the Cowboys' triple threat offense of Aikman, Irvin, and Smith. Or Brown, Hampton, and the New York Giants take on Terry Allen and the red-hot Redskins. Fox NFL Sunday, next week. Check local listings.
So, you want to be a returner in the National Football League? Well, just listen to what you're missing. I'll tell you what, that's the part of the game that just is a lot of fun. And you get out there and see Jesse Campbell come down, sticks his shoulder, and get some help from Whitmer. And then it's just the physical part. And it's, you know, it's just a test.
How much fun was it for Mark Say, though?
Well, he's having a blast. I'm going to tell you why. You got to be half nuts to be able to have a return guy with somebody ready to hit you in the face. You take it anyway.
Irving Fryer back in there, and on the reverse, Charlie Garner has done blocking in front. And here comes Garner with great speed, and a flag is down at midfield. But the Eagles pulling out one of their bag of tricks. 40-yard gain by Garner on a reverse, and it looks like they're going to bring it back. Holding against Philadelphia nullifies a 40-yard gain. Want to welcome the viewers who have been watching the Raiders and the Lions. Welcome to Giant Stadium.
Illegal block.
The Giants are leading the Philadelphia Eagles 10-3. Dick Stockton and Matt Millen. And the big play of the game, the margin of difference here, Amani Toomer's 65-yard punt return in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was set up by an illegal block in the back right there on Jason Dunn. And that got him to the sideline. And then he just took it into the end zone, and really that's been the whole offense for the New York Giants to date. Amani Toomer's punt return.
Their defense has done the job today. The Eagles have a first down and 8. And the give up the middle is to Ricky Waters, and Waters short of the first down by a yard. Just moments ago, the Eagles had a 40-yard end around to Charlie Garner, nullified because of penalty. Earlier in the game, they had a 30-yard gain nullified because of a penalty. And for Philadelphia, they have not been able to manage much of an offense against the Giant defense today.
Well, the Giants have been playing very good run defense, and they've really limited Ty Detmer in that passing game.
Detmer in his first NFL start with Rodney Peete out for the rest of the season. Second down and 1 for the Eagles, and Ricky Waters does not get it. And it was Corey Miller from behind who made the big play. Chad Bratsky also involved.
And at Garner, they just ran a reverse, and then Irvin Fryer got called for an illegal block on the outside. And they take Garner and they line him up wide left, and they come around. Now watch the bottom right hand of your screen. It's Garner right there. See? Watch Irvin Fryer. He's working on Jason Sehorn. And then he just takes him and works him, and they got him for that push in the back. And that nullified a 40-yard pickup by Garner.
And it's 3rd and 1. The Eagles have struggled on third down plays. Kevin Turner, however, and he doesn't make it. The Giants, right side of their line.
Corey Whitmer was right there.
And there's Mike Nolan, the Giant defensive coordinator, leading the charge.
You see Whitmer, that's exactly what you have to do when you're playing inside back. You read that, now you make a decision, get right up the field, fill the hole, boom, get right there, and that just puts an end to it.
And
that's
it's fourth
really
down.
Good defense.
That's what the Giants have done throughout this game. Corey Widmer and company, and Tom Hutton is in to punt for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Amani Toomer, who has that spectacular punt return for a touchdown back deep. 7:20 remaining in the third quarter. The Giants lead Philadelphia 10-3. Here's Toomer standing on his 10. Toomer on the 9-yard line. And he is hit and down at the 22-yard line by Jimmy Johnson. Giant defense has not allowed a touchdown in over 10 quarters.
Noise. It travels down air ducts, vibrates through walls. But Owens Corning can help keep noise in its place. Our Quiet Zone acoustic bats and fiberglass ducts work together to absorb and diffuse sound. Till it's almost a whisper, just one room away. After all, there's a system to these things. Owens Corning. System thinking for the home.
Good life, you've come so far, but you're still going, that's just the way you are. It's so exciting, it's so inviting, it's making whoopee. You love to travel, you love to dine, a little luxury to help you to unwind. So turn the heat up and pull your seat up and make some whoopee. And when you go for a long drive, like a star, and all this comfort and luxury, that's just where you are. Another ride, there's so much room, another lovely, lovely afternoon. Don't need a reason, it's just the season for making whoopee.
The brand new DeVille for the time of your life.
Same show.
Stop, girl, shoot!
Same time.
Golly!
New day.
Okay.
The X-Files moves to Sundays, October 27th.
7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Giants lead the Eagles 10-3. And if you're a Giant fan, you'd have to say, I love you, man, the way the Giant defense is playing.
I love you, man.
You know, that fella's a budding actor. He's been a great personality on commercials. 1st and 10 at the 21.
All for one line.
Dave Brown handing off to Rodney Hampton for a couple of yards. Well, yesterday, the former Brave, Ron Ginn, got back at his ex-teammates the best way you could with a 2-home run explosion as the St. Louis Cardinals defeated the Atlanta Braves to take a 2-1 lead in the National League Championship Series. Marquise Grissom could only look and watch. So following football coverage tonight, the baseball pregame on Fox, and then game 4 of the NLCS, the Atlanta Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. Danny Nagel and Alan Bennis working that game. 2nd and 10 on the 21. Dave Brown up the middle, tipped away, and
I think Bobby Taylor got away with that one.
Thomas Lewis was defended by Bobby Taylor.
Lewis came across in motion. Watch Bobby Taylor. He ends up in free safety. Now he reads him and he looked for the intersection point. Doink. He got there right before the ball there. And then on the other side, Troy Vincent working on Chris Callaway. Just letting him get on top, knowing he has safety help on top. The Eagle corners are playing very, very well.
Dave Brown has only 4 completions and he's been sacked 4 times. Yet the Giants lead 10-3. 3rd down and 10. Just got the snap off in time.
Make that 5 sacks.
Yes, and that time it was William Thomas.
But they're just scheming him right now. This is a credit to Emmett Thomas and Ray Rosen, that defensive staff. Willie Thomas came off the corner, and there's Emmett Thomas right there. And I want you to watch Michael Zordich is going to come inside. Now that draws your blockers in, and that frees things up to the outside. See how the back has to take Zordich? Well, you have to make a decision. You go inside, Thomas comes clean, nowhere to throw the football, no time.
Loss of 6 yards, and so the Eagles hold, and now Mike Horan from the goal line, and the Eagles with Mark Say back deep, looking in good field position. And Say with a fair catch at the 47, 48-yard line. So the Eagles, when they get the ball back near midfield, trailing by 7.
It's the middle of the night. She woke up with heartburn. She should take Zantac 75. The medicine in here was prescribed by doctors over the last 5 years, more than all other medicines of its kind combined. Just one Zantac 75 relieves nighttime heartburn. So take one of these and call me in the morning.
Zantac 75, the final word in acid relief.
Daddy?
I have your son. Give me $2 million.
Mel Gibson.
No ransom will ever be paid for my son.
Rene Russo.
Tell him that you were wrong.
You think I wouldn't do absolutely everything to get him back?
Gary Sinise.
What's that?
Delroy Lindo.
The only priority is getting your boy back.
In a Ron Howard film.
Hello!
On November 8th. Someone is going to pay.
Give me back my son!
Ransom. Rated R.
Hey, that's great. But who are the chefs?
Not going anywhere for a while?
Great googly moogly.
Grab a Snickers.
You spell it.
Yeah. Even after shampooing with 2 different shampoos, more people still prefer the quicker, easier Energizer tester over any other on-battery tester. It's the best way to make sure your battery will keep going and going.
This game summary is brought to you by Budweiser. The Eagles have outgained the Giants by nearly 100 yards. The difference, the special teams play. Monty Toomer's 65-yard punt return. Ty Detmer in his first NFL start. Those are his numbers, and has had 5 drops on top of that.
Yeah, we should make this the Bud Light game summary, because there's the Bud Light guy, and he just loves us.
He loves you, man.
It's that simple.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line, the best starting field position for the Eagles. Here comes pressure up the middle on Detmer, who hits the open man, Chris T. Jones, and he's got a first down out of bounds into Giant territory. And right now, for an update, let's return to James Brown.
All right, Dick, Detroit's being smacked around by Oakland, but finally the Lions get on the scoreboard. Mitchell to Moore, Herman Moore. That makes it 34-7. Oakland all over Detroit. Back to New York. Dick Stockton, Mac Miller.
First and 10 for the Eagles on the Giant 41 with 5:35 remaining in the third quarter. Detmer with a swing pass, and Ricky Waters made a great catch and got a few extra yards down the sideline. Felipe Sparks defending, and he got 5 yards out of it.
Well, he was able to stand in that pocket. Once you look what a pocket looks like from way up there in that Fuji blimp. He's going to drop down, and then look at it right here. See this? There's your protection. Look, throw out to the outside, and then Waters makes the great catch. I can tell you, this is 2 plays in a row that really go unnoticed. You can see the one-handed catch there. That gives him second and about 5. And then on the blitz, he had a great job of picking it up and allowing Detmer to find Jones for the first down.
Second down and 5. Here is Waters holding on to the ball, and Ricky Waters gets to the 30-yard line, and the Eagles will have another first down as helmets are lost, Ricky's in particular.
Ricky, don't lose that helmet. It's the only one you got. You try to use it, and you feel better when you get home.
You know, you're in the wrong line of work.
Yeah, what can I tell you? Ricky, don't lose that helmet. Tell you, Waters is one of the few backs in the league who can be powerful inside, like you're seeing right here, and also have the speed and feet to get outside. Now, as Jesse Campbell has him down, and then this is an old wrestling move. This is WWF. Slip that thing off underneath.
First down, Eagles on the Giant 30. This is the first big test for the Giant defense today. Detmer firing to the end zone. Incomplete. Irving Fryer was the man he was going for, and the Giants got to Detmer.
Yeah, and then again on the other side, Strahan. I want you to watch Strahan down here working on Cooper. Takes him upfield. Now work back inside. Cooper's out of sync. Cooper is not the player that they thought they were getting at this point. And then I want you to watch Irvin Fryer, and he just, I think that ankle kind of got to him right there. He kind of couldn't hit that other gear that he does have.
Thomas Randolph has checked in for Jason Sehorn who had to leave the field. He was shaken up on the last play. 2nd and 10. Here is Waters, and getting a hold on him was Percy Ellsworth, the rookie free safety, and he prevented more than a couple of yard gain. That will bring up 3rd down and long, and it's been a chess match throughout the afternoon, looking at the defensive coordinator Mike Nolan and John Gruden, who handles the offense for the Eagles.
Mike Nolan's calling himself a good football game, man. John Gruden is just trying to find the right combination with Detmer in his running game.
3rd down and 8 from the 28. Eagles only 1 for 9 on 3rd down conversion. Detmer flips it, and Fryer drops it.
That's a hold coming back. And I'll tell you, Keith Hamilton beat his blocker so quick inside, it wasn't even close. They had no choice but to have to hold him.
And if Fryer had held onto it, he wouldn't have gotten the 1st down anyway.
I want you to watch right here. Keith Hamilton goes right past Joe Panos, throws him to the side, takes a power move, and then Panos hits him from behind for a tackle.
Penalty will be declined. And on 4th down, Gary Anderson will come in, but a fine play by Keith Hamilton. Giant defense doing a pretty good job against the offensive line of the Eagles.
Now, Keith Hamilton is a player that they need more consistency out of. I mean, he's capable of doing things like that, you know, series after series. But to date, he's not done that.
Gary Anderson made good on his first field goal attempt. This is from 46 yards out, which would match his longest, and the kick is good.
Boy, he drilled that one.
Gary Anderson, 9 of 11 in field goals, and the Eagles get closer. It is now a 10-6 game. Anderson matching his longest field goal of the season from 46.
American Express, how can I help you?
How can I help you?
Oh, sure. Of course we help small businesses.
Why don't we start with your cash flow? Okay, we can arrange a line of credit for you.
We can take care of that.
It'll give you more flexibility.
We actually have several cards to help you manage expenses better.
Maybe our credit card will work for you.
I'll set up a meeting for you with one of our CPAs.
Together we can sort this tax situation out.
We can always make adjustments when your situation changes.
Call American Express at 1-800-SUCCESS to help your small business do more.
What has the models this year looking so happy? Is it the new fall look? Insiders say no. Blame those smiling faces on Dave Thomas, Wendy's founder, and his new grilled chicken sandwich. It's absolutely smashing. Bigger, plumper, and juicier than ever. With this all-white meat filet, the girls have found a delicious chicken sandwich they can enjoy today. And still fit into that size 6 tomorrow. Dave, what's new for spring?
Well, short sleeves are always nice.
Fabulous.
Try Wendy's new plumper, juicier grilled chicken sandwich.
Don't miss an all-new Halloween special.
Oh, my God, Marge. It's escaped.
Part of the Simpsons Mini Marathon, October 27th.
Hi, I'm James Brown, and in case you missed it, this is what you would have seen on Fox NFL Sunday. And Jerry Jones, when I talked with him yesterday, said that Michael was going to play every snap.
Oh, there's some inside information.
Michael's a young man that we all know has lived on the edge. He's that way as a football player, and he's that way in life.
If Michael's presence gives everyone a belief that, hey, now everything is okay, then that's good.
Fox NFL Sunday, next week. Check local listings.
Dick Stockton and Matt Millen at Giant Stadium. The Eagles narrowed the Giant lead to 4 after Gary Anderson connected on a 46-yard field goal. Eagles scoring drive, 7 plays. And Anderson now kicking off. Tom Hutton had kicked off, and now Anderson and Amani Toomer returning for the Giants. Looking for running room, and nothing there as he is dropped at the 21-yard line. Well, Tuesday, the original family of aliens from outer space is landing on Fox. Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin had an all-star cast in the hilarious film Coneheads on the Fox Tuesday night movie beginning at 8/7 Central.
You're going to consume mass quantities. There's a conehead. Hey, Ricky Waters. He's going to love that. Put a little thing up top right here. He'd be just perfect. There's some hard heads.
Hard heads, right? One has an autograph on the top.
Looks like a Lawrence Taylor autograph.
First down, Giants from the 21-yard line. Dave Brown with a play-action pass. Charles Way couldn't hold on to it. I don't know if it was deflected, or Dave Brown, I don't know if it was deflected or not.
Boy, look at this. 5 sacks and 4 completions. Anytime this one is plus more than this one, you got some problems. Man, you got more problems than just what's going on right there, because that means your offensive line is having a rough day. And so you say, okay, with those sacks, what do? Well, you get rid of the ball quick. That time they tried to hit it quick, and they couldn't quite hold on to it.
19 times the Giant quarterbacks have been sacked in the last 2 years. That's a total of 3 games. 2nd and 10 on the 21. Dave Brown's pass.
Mike Zordich had it perfectly, read it perfectly. You want to know something? Emmett Thomas now has made his adjustment with his defense, because they know they're not getting protection, and they know they're having problems. You can see Emmett right here. And they know they're having problems, so now Dan Reeves does a logical thing. All right, get rid of the ball quick. You and I were just talking about this in commercial. So if you're going to go to the ball and get rid of that thing quick, then defensively, you jump your coverage. Zordich read that right away. I mean, he jumped it. Now the next step is a double move. Pump and then up the field.
Well, the Giants' lack of offense throughout this game starting to catch up to them now. 3rd down and 10. Here comes Mamula, and Brown is sacked up the middle.
6 sacks, 4 completions.
Rhett Hall with his 2nd sack and the 6th of the game. Keep in mind, the Eagles, who had 48 sacks as a team last year, had only 8 coming into this game. They have 6 sacks today against Dave Brown.
And this is the other way that you get away and try to buy some time. You start moving your pocket. This time they're trying to move their pocket this way. Even with that being done, the coverage by the Philadelphia Eagles down the field was stellar. And because of that, you get a sack. That's a coverage sack by Rhett Hall.
Mike Horan with his 8th punt of the game. And it's a beauty, sending Mark Say back to the 31. He's got 1 man to beat Sehorn, and down goes Say at the 33-yard line. A 57-yard kick by Horan. 2:28 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Let's update you on the NFC East standings. The Redskins win their 5th in a row, beating the Patriots. The Dallas Cowboys defeated the Arizona Cardinals. So this is the way it looks right now. Very critical final moments of this quarter and the game. Giants looking to get to 3-3, and Philadelphia looking to remain a game behind the first-place Redskins.
Well, both of these teams' defenses have played very, very well today. Whichever offense can come up with anything in this last quarter in 2 minutes will be the difference in the game.
First down on the 34. Ty Detmer giving ground, has Kevin Turner.
A bad decision by
Detmer. He is dropped immediately by Cedric Jones.
Boy, they read that thing like a book.
Loss of 7 yards.
They set up the screen, and Cedric Jones felt it. I mean, that's the key. You can look at the total yards right now.
Since the first quarter, no contest that way.
Yeah, not even close.
Cedric Jones was the #1 draft pick by the Giants out of Oklahoma. He has had eye problems and will undergo laser surgery after the season. He has had problems with his vision.
I see.
2nd down and 16. Detmer drills it to Chris T. Jones, pushed out of bounds.
Again, they're giving that up. You know, I talked to Xavier Yerelian, the defensive backfield coach of the New York Football Giants, and he said, this is the first time that I've really watched Ty Detmer throw the football. And guess when it was? In pregame warm-up. He said there wasn't much to see. And he said, and looking at him, there's Zayvon right there. He said, looking at him, he doesn't have a big, strong arm, so we're going to try to take away the inside and give up those outs, see if that arm can work.
And they've given up those outs. 3rd and 6. Detmer's pass is caught. Chris T. Jones, and that'll be a first down into Giant territory for Jones. A pickup of 14 yards. Tito Wooten made the play.
Look down here. This is called bunch, and this is a way to get your coverage back here backed off. You see how they have to kind of umbrella and let everything develop? That's the only way that I should say, one of the ways that you can do to get your coverage not be so tight. And in order to get that done, you still have to have protection up front.
And you can sense the way the tenor of this game is changing over to the Eagles side. They've got the better offensive unit, it appears, at this point. Ricky Waters rushing and picks up 37 yards with under a minute to go in the third quarter.
You know, talking about Ricky Waters and the way he's running with more power, and he can get outside with speed. And the one thing we haven't talked about since the second week has been fumbles. You know, I went and watched the Philadelphia Eagles practice on Thursday. And just watching Ricky Waters and the way he runs, and what Ray Rhodes has told the other people when he's out in the field, slap the ball all the time, make him aware of it. And because of that, he's been able to hold on to that thing pretty well.
Second down and 3. Waters now in motion to the left, and up the middle is Turner, and the fullback gets a first down to the 31, and that is the end of the third quarter with the score. The Giants 10, the Eagles coming on half 6. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station.
Fox, the exclusive home of the 1996 World Series.
For all the day's highlights and scores, watch Sports Sunday tonight on the Fox 10 o'clock news.
Man, this place is loaded with bargains. 2001 diapers? 5 gallons of mayonnaise. Wow! You want a real bargain? Dial 1-800-COLLECT. Save the people you call some serious money. 1-800-COLLECT. Save up to 44%.
Oh, everyone needs someone who will be there. Everyone needs someone on their side. Sometimes you know you need a friend for what's coming round the bend. Nationwide is on your side.
Everyone wants a quiet place to get away. Here's one within driving distance. The new Camry. Thanks to a new level of sound-absorbing technology, including a special alloy in the steering wheel to reduce vibration, so the only thing you feel is good. The new Camry. Quieter, smoother, better than ever.
Fastest man in football in action. Okay, Rocket, show us how easy it is to dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I just did it.
Did what?
Dialed 1-800-COLLECT.
You did?
Can we go to replay? 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe.
Giants leading the Eagles 10-6 in a tight-taut game as we go into the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton and Matt Millen. Looks like the Eagles offense is coming on, Matthew.
And it looks like Ty Detmer is starting to play pretty good football. You know, I always wanted to do this while you were on camera. I feel better about myself already.
You know, you're still a kid, and that's what I love about you. First and 10 at the 30. Detmer, flag is down, and Detmer's pass incomplete, intended for Mark Say, but there is a penalty marker at the 10.
And he's counting. They got that finger drill going. He's counting people out there.
There's no infraction on the play. The correct number of players are on the field.
Yeah, right after that play, the field judge was out there, and he was pointing and counting all those guys, and I think he probably thought there were 12, but there really was 11. That's that new math. He's got to get used to it.
Right now, they're adding it up right now.
And that's good. That's a good officiating job. Pick it up. You were wrong. No big deal.
Wish baseball would do that. Second and 10 at the 30. Detmer going for Fryer. And that's the fade pattern in which Ty Detmer is very tough. He got hit. Thomas Randolph was defending, and he got shaken up defending Fryer downfield.
Yeah, but you know, you can see that Detmer is starting to get a feel for this football game. And really for playing again. Because now he knows what he has. And he knows he has coverage outside. And there's a lot of bumping going on. That's just incidental. And I like that about, you know, Red Cashin's group. They just let the guys play. You know, Fryer's trying to hold the hands down. Randolph's trying to push him out of the way. And Detmer on the front side recognizes, sees that it's going to have tight coverage and a blitz, and you get rid of it quick.
Third down and 10. Detmer goes underneath to Ricky Waters, and he'll be stopped short. The Giants ganged up on him. Jason Sehorn and Robert Harris, among others. And a gain of 3 yards, and Gary Anderson will come on to try to bring the Eagles to within 1.
Did you see Robert Harris, how he got from 1? That's a transition for a defensive lineman. You go from rushing the passer, the ball's thrown, now you turn and get to the football. Let me tell you something. In all of football, there's no substitute for hustle, and it takes no talent to hustle.
So Anderson is 2 for 2 today. This will be a 45-yard field goal. The doors are down behind there, and Anderson's kick long enough, and the kick is good, and it is a 1-point lead for the Giants. Gary Anderson has kicked 3 for 3 today, and that's been the Eagle offense, but they trailed by 1 with only a minute gone by in this fourth quarter.
Hang 10 in the 132 horsepower, 16-valve, overhead cam, 4-wheel independent suspension, cab forward, gnarly Dodge Neon Coupe. Dude, say hello to Dodge Neon at your friendly Dodge dealer.
It can't be. I got to see. It is. The 365. Boss, give a look.
Ugye ez egy IBM ThinkPad. 365-ös.
Az bizony. It could be no other. Feel the track point. Feast your eyes on the screen. Can we swing it, boss, huh?
Meglepően olcsó.
Yeah. That's my boss. What a guy, huh?
On Saturdays, your customers can receive 2-day packages from FedEx. Cost? An extra $10.
On Saturdays, your customers can receive 2 to 3 day priority mail packages from the U.S. Postal Service. Cost $3, and there's no extra charge.
On Saturdays, your customers cannot receive 2-day packages from UPS. Sorry.
So, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. By Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service. And by Boston Market, carving out a better sandwich.
Skyline of New York City at dusk. And here at Giant Stadium, a lot of wind blowing when you look at the top flags, but the goalpost flags are dead. No wind down on the field that we can see as Gary Anderson kicks off. And Tyrone Wheatley returning for the Giants finds an opening, but it's stripped up. Good play that time.
Adam Walker made a game saver. I shouldn't say a game saver. That thing opened wide up. And if Walker doesn't make that, he's out for running.
Again, we want to salute the Fujifilm blimp for all of the great photos today and pictures from atop on board. Cameraman Pat Curran.
Yeah, and also the free camera that Richie Zients, our producer, got. He couldn't be happier for that.
He's delighted.
He loves that stuff.
1st and 10 at the 27. The Giants have had no offense to speak of today. Their touchdown came on a punt return. Here is Rodney Hampton. And Hampton with tremendous, relentless forward push tackled by Ray Farmer after a gain of 7 yards.
Now that starts up front, and really it starts with Brian Williams, the center. I mean, Brian Williams is the quarterback of that offensive line. You know, it's interesting. You talk about quarterbacks and running backs and what they can see. If you're center, you're Brian Williams, and you can't see, you can't play. Because he notices everything and makes all the calls up front.
2nd down and 3. Then they go to Hampton. Dives forward, and Rodney Hampton will have a 1st down. Hampton going up the middle, and you mentioned Williams, who the native of Pittsburgh. In fact, he was a Steeler fan as a youngster, saw that immaculate reception victory against the Raiders, and his late father delivered a lot of the children of the Steeler players.
He said one of his biggest thrills was meeting Rocky Bleier. He said his dad delivered 3 of Rocky's.
1st and 10 at the 38.
I hope it was 3.
10-9 the score, and the give is to Hampton, and he is wrestled down by William Thomas. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center. Jamie?
The Lions had trailed 34-0 against Oakland. Boy, they're on the comeback. Mitchell this time, third TD pass. This one to Johnny Morton. It is now 34-21 Oakland, back in the fourth. Take it back to the Meadowlands. Dick Stockton and Matt Miller.
Smells like a good football game. What a great catch by Johnny Morton. Fingertips in the back of the end zone.
And the Lions capable of exploding. 2nd and 10. And the pass is caught by Thomas Lewis. Flag is down, and Lewis is stopped. He had enough yardage for the first down. He got 11 yards, but that is before the penalty flag.
It's going to go against the Giants.
Red Cashin.
Holding against New York.
So instead of the first down, close to midfield. This is a rough penalty against the Giants. Eagles have been hit a few times with these kind of penalties today.
Holding during the run. Number 80 on the offense. 10 yards, still second down.
That's Chris Callaway. Again, we talked about transition game. Now the ball's not going to. It's right in front of you. Now you got to turn and you got to block. But they call that a hold. That is a really, really weak call. And I'm being kind. In any event, that'll set up second in about 9.
Plenty of time remaining. We're in the fourth quarter. The Giants 10, the Eagles 9. Lewis split to the right, Callaway to the left. And Charles Wade start in motion, and finally the Giants are forced to call a timeout. There was confusion as the Giants lined up before the snap. And we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Boston Market, the place that made hot hand-carved Boston Carver sandwiches famous, proudly announces the new $4 Chicken Carver Combo. A chicken carver, side, and regular soft drink for $4. Hurry in for a chicken carver piled high with real cheese on a bakery roll, plus a freshly prepared individual side and a regular soft drink for just $4. The $4 Chicken Carver Combo, only at Boston Market.
Hurry in now. Offer ends October 20th.
The enormously enjoyable 2-liter 16-valve cab-forward Dodge Neon sedan. Boy, is it big inside. Say hello to Dodge Neon at your friendly Dodge dealer.
Dan Aykroyd, Jason Alexander, Adam Sandler, and Jane Curtin star in Coneheads.
I'm ready to suck back a cold one.
Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Today on the Jungle Channel, we observe the Carolina Panthers, unpredictable predators of the Western Division. Ooh, waiting for a real treat. It's feeding time. Feed me, baby, I'm hungry. Ooh, yeah. Don't mind if I do.
Fox NFL Sunday. The Saints take on Kevin Green and the Panthers next week.
Charles Way went the wrong way and couldn't get set. Not a happy coach over there on the sideline. And he was one hot guy. Anytime you send a play in and you just have to run it, just run the play.
So the Giants burn a timeout. Dave Brown to Charles Way out of the backfield. And holding on and making the play is William Thomas. A gain of 6 yards.
You see the Philadelphia Eagles have really played tremendous defense to this point in this game. He's only given up 83 yards. He had to shut down that running game. And then, of course, that would take care of the passing game. Look at this. 17 yards passing with 6 sacks. And, of course, that's Emmett Thomas, the defensive coordinator, along with Ray Rhodes. You can see Emmett. He's right here. Big third down right here for the New York Giants.
Third down and 3 on their 45. Dave Brown slant pass and a first down to the Eagle 43-yard line. It was Darrell Boykin, the nickelback, making the play. A gain of 13 and an important play for the Giants offensively.
Yeah, because watch, and what do you notice? 3 steps, set, get rid of the ball quick. Don't allow him to get in there. And then also on the other side, Callaway just with a quick inside move. So if they're going to get pressure, you got to get rid of the ball fast. You have to shorten your routes. And you have to throw it inside nice and tight.
Third catch for Callaway. And a first down for the Giants. Here is Rodney Hampton. And Hampton slicing off Michael Zordich, making the tackle, and picks up about 3 yards. Want to remind you, following football tonight, Game 4 of the National League Championship Series, Denny Nagel will be on the mound for the Braves. Andy Bennis, not Allen, as I said earlier, Andy Bennis will be pitching for the Cardinals, who can go up 3-1 over the Braves with a victory tonight at Busch Stadium. That's following football right here on Fox. Second down and 7 for the Giants on the Philadelphia Eagles 39. Rodney Hampton following Charles Way, but messing it up was James Willis, who cut in and make a fine play, and no gain that time. That'll bring up third down. So another important third down play for the Giants as we wind down to 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Giants trying to win their 3rd game in a row after losing their first 3. Eagles trying to rebound from a loss to the Cowboys a week ago Monday. Third down and 7. And it looked like Scott Gregg might have moved.
Scott Gregg is a big man. That's a lot to move.
Before the snap, false start. Number 74 on the offense. 5 yards, still third down.
6'7", 325 pounds. Kind of a high cut guy. You can see he got that little bit of a jump start there. You look at Scott Gregg and you just want to go dan 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 dan. He's just a Herman Munster lookalike. I mean, he is a monster of a man.
Monster. 9th play of the drive coming up. Third down and 12. Dave Brown looking deep and going for Callaway, and the pass is picked off but out of bounds by Troy Vincent. It is an incompleted pass, and it'll bring up 4th down, and the Giants will have to punt.
Well, and remember I told you the double move is going to come. There it was. That was the pump. You try to take that quick. What they're going to do, you try to get them to jump on it, and then you double move and go up top. Vincent, though, stayed off in his coverage and played it perfectly.
Giants showed a flicker of offense during that series, but could not cash in, and so Mike Horan will be kicking. Back deep is Mark Say. Flag is down. Penalty there, and penalty apparently will be against the Giants.
Before the snap, false start. Number 41 on the offense. 5 yards, still 4th down.
It's that Conrad Hamilton, who's one of the bullets up top. That's the special teams coaches. Joe DeCamillis on the left for the New York Giants. Danny Smith on the right for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know if Danny Smith could get any more gum shoved in his face there. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, he's got another cheek. He's got the left one taken care of. Now he moved it over to the right.
See that? He's a switcher.
Moran with a good high kick.
Well, that's a great.
And Say is going to let it bounce, and it goes into the end zone for the touchback. And the Eagles will start from the 20-yard line. The Eagles' offense has looked a little bit better as of late. We'll see.
It's sort of like combining the style of Holyfield with the power of Foreman.
No matter how you describe it, it's about to change the way we see and hear forever.
In the game of politics, choosing a candidate can be a difficult move. That's because candidates make lots of promises. Promises, promises, promises. So, who will you choose? Her. Good choice, because she has an ice-cold Miller Lite. which makes only one promise: great taste. Join the party. Choose Miller Lite. Life is good. And when you vote, life is really good.
Coaches, team, media, all eyes are looking at me.
We asked some of the NFL's hottest rookies to try Degree.
Body heat activated.
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
As I work harder, Degree works harder.
Degree, for an extra degree of protection.
This is it, the big one. Hold on for the ride. It's Degree Antiperspirant's hottest Super Bowl sweepstakes. Check the pack. Call, win, free Super Bowl tickets and more. Degree's hottest Super Bowl sweepstakes. It's smoking.
You know how Superman's strong and Batman's got gadgets? Wonder Woman's got gadgets. Superman and Wonder Woman. Okay.
No matter how you describe it, it's about to change the way we see and hear forever.
The Degree hot rookies from week 6 are Houston's Eddie George. He ran for 152 yards and a touchdown in their victory. Patriots receiver Terry Glenn, 6 catches, 89 yards against Baltimore last week. Eddie Kennison leads the NFL with a 20.3 punt return average. Each week, Degree will track the hottest rookies from the NFL. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Eagles who trail, and Ricky Waters spins his way.
I think that's
not a 4-yard gain.
I think that was a quick whistle. I think that was a quick whistle right there. I think Ricky Waters wasn't finished. No, I mean, he was right in the middle of that thing. He was standing up, he was spinning, and they gave him the quick whistle, and they marked it. I think they gave him a pretty good mark, too. Listen to this. So he was still moving forward. He was still going forward when they blew that whistle.
2nd and 6. Detmer pass is caught, knocked out of bounds. Irving Fryer. And it was Jason Sehorn who made the play very close to the 1st down yardage. Fryer's been shaken up twice today and has come back twice to make some good catches.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to what kind of a guy he is. I mean, he's a tough guy. He wants to get right back out there and compete. I'll tell you, the one thing that's painfully obvious in both of these offenses is that neither of these teams put the ball down the field. Everything is short and underneath.
It is a 1st down for the Eagles. Ricky Waters bursting up the middle. Good gain by Ricky Waters, picking up 9. He is now 21 carries and 83 yards on the day for Ricky Waters.
You know, when the Eagles running backs have run for over 100 yards, I think they only have like 1 loss or something like that. And Ricky Waters has been the guy. I mean, since he's got here 2 years ago, I mean, I can't say enough about him. He's one of the few guys who can change his style, go power and speed to the outside.
Look how the Eagles have dominated the Giants as the game has moved on, yardage-wise.
That's total yards, 120.
2nd down and 1. 1st down, and Waters gets to the 45-yard line. Ellsworth is there, but the Eagles have pecked away with Gary Anderson field goals. They have 3 of them today. They trail by a point, but the way the trend of this game is going, definitely on the side of Philadelphia. They are starting to dominate in a big way, and with 6:19 to go, the question is, can the Giant defense, which has been terrific so far, hang in?
John Gruden, the offensive coordinator, I think he's starting to get a feel for what Detmer can do. And Detmer checking off at the line of scrimmage.
Here comes a blitz. Detmer's pass thrown behind the intended receiver, Fryer.
He knew what he was going to get. He knew he was going to get a blitz. And that's why he was checking off.
Now, we talked about this at halftime, Matt. Ty Detmer in his first NFL start, this being his 5th year of his career, but look at the drops he's had to contend with.
Yeah, look at that. That would put him at 24 out of 31, which is not a bad day.
Detmer lofts it, and coming back to make the catch is Say.
Oh, that was big. That was a big play by Say coming back. He's played well all game long, and he's getting up, holding that shoulder, too. That arm down. And Say's done a great job in special teams in the return game, and now working off of Jason Sehorn. Watch him come back to the football. They came with a blitz inside with Widmer, and I think Widmer hit the arm or the ball, one of the two.
I think you're right, but Say was alert. That was a 9-yard pickup. 3rd down and 1. Quarterback sneak. And I'm not sure, as Ty Detmer tried to run for the yard himself. Widmer and Bratsky were right in the middle of the pile.
That's Guy McIntyre. Looks like Darth Vader. That's one of those eye shields they put over their masks so guys don't poke them. It's also good because as a defender, you can't read the offensive man's eyes, and I think that's an advantage for the offensive player. A lot of times you like to come up, you'll read those guards and the fullback and all those things, and you look at their eyes because they'll give it away. With that dark thing in there, you can't see anything.
5:08 remaining. It'll be 1st and 10 if they got the first down. We're going to check the measurement here. The Eagles swept the Giants last year. Dan Reeves has 4 wins in 6, and they've got it. First down for the Eagles, and I think as we get down to the last 5 minutes, Matt, I think ultimately will come down to whether the Giant offense can mount any kind of an attack, because they haven't been able to do so in this game.
Well, the defense has carried them so far, and at this point, they've got, right now, the New York Giants are winning the football game. Regardless of what their offense is doing, they can win it right here with their defense.
Eagles on the Giant 44. Ricky Waters fights his way for about 3 or 4 yards. Ellsworth and Armstead.
I'll tell you who's playing a good football game is Corey Widmer, number 90, inside. I mean, he is seeing things today, and he is attacking. Man, that picks up like 4 yards, but Corey Widmer is playing very physical. It's the best I've watched him. I mean, that's got to be encouraging if you're a New York Giant. He's a big kid at 250 pounds, and he needs to be physical. He needs to play like he's playing today.
2nd and 7 at the 41 for the Eagles. Less than 4.5 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Ty Detmer going up the middle, and it's
what a great play by Detmer.
And Irving Fryer with a first down to the Giant 30-yard line.
I'll tell you why it was good that Michael Strahan beat Cooper clean right off the top. Strahan going to come right back on the inside move. Detmer sees it the whole way. You can feel it. And you stay there, and he stood in, knew he was going to get hit, and still found the receiver. That's good quarterbacking, regardless of size, regardless of anything. That still takes guts to stand in there and take a whack.
And he had Ricky Waters in case he wanted to play it safe with a flare pass, but he went up the middle with it. First down at the Giant 30. 1-point lead for the Giants, and Ricky Waters explodes and knocks Percy Ellsworth off his moorings and gets a first down inside the Giant 20.
Dick, I want to show you some sneaky blocking. I want you to watch Cooper, 77. Watch how he delays just a little bit. And by doing that, see how he gets off slow? He defines what's going to happen. He just takes Strahan, pushes him right outside, and then a nice block by Turner. Look at the lowering of the shoulders by Ricky Waters. That's what I'm talking about, where a guy can change his style. He can go from power and speed simultaneously.
Ricky Waters with 104 yards rushing. Eagles with a first down at the Giant 19, and it's again Ricky Waters who is turning it on now and gets to the 15-yard line. Let's 4-yard gain. Look at the numbers in the last 15 years. When an Eagle back has rushed for 100 or more yards, they are a perfect 26-0 with 1 tie, and Waters has 108 yards today.
We'll get rid of that. We'll give him 108. There you go. Got to work on my finger. It's now.
And a timeout called by the Giants. They're under siege right here. This is their 2nd timeout.
It's about time. And finding faster ways to take new ideas from drawing board to reality. It's about the search for methods to make machinery last longer look beyond the obvious. And most of all, about taking time to listen. All things change through time. Cars, trucks, and a company.
The pressure's on as the Braves take on the Cards in Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. Tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox.
Thousands of people flock to Washington, D.C. every year to see the world's most famous monuments. The Lincoln Memorial, the White House, the Smithsonian, saluting man's greatest achievements. Get a new perspective on the first lunar landing. And most impressive of all, the Washington Monument. Behold the new Washington Monument.
Fox NFL Sunday. Next week, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Back to Giant Stadium. Dick Stockton and Matt Millen. 2:29 remaining. The Giants lead 10-9, but that lead is in jeopardy. The Eagles have a 2nd down and 5 at the Giant 14-yard line. Giants have only 1 timeout remaining. Ty Detmer hands off to Ricky Waters. And Waters gets to the 13-yard line. Keith Hamilton on the play. Gain of 2 yards.
And that should take it down to the 2-minute warning. Oh, they took a timeout, the Giants. They're going to use that 2-minute warning.
And then they have an injured
timeout.
player. Keith Hamilton is slow getting up. The Giants have used their last timeout. So if the Giants find themselves trailing, if the Eagles get a touchdown or a field goal, the Giants will have no timeouts remaining as they try to win the game on maybe their last possession. Want to remind you, following football here on Fox, Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. First, the baseball pregame, then the Atlanta Braves, the defending world champions. They have their hands full against the St. Louis Cardinals. That'll be at Busch Stadium. Ron Gant with a big game against his former team with 2 home runs yesterday. But the Braves have been there before. Gant with 2 homers and 3 RBIs last night. Remember Gary Gaetti with the grand slam home run against Maddox in Game 2. Braves have been struggling at the plate. But if they can win Game 4, they've got Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavine. Not a bad trio to call on. Meanwhile, the drama here at Giant Stadium. Gary Anderson with 3 field goals. Poised in case they need his foot. This is the 13th play of the drive. 3rd down and 3. They give it to Waters, and he stopped. 2 flags are down. Robert Harris was right there to stop Waters from getting yardage. The Eagles, Philadelphia, an eligible receiver downfield.
Tell you the other guy for the New York Giants who's played pretty well beside Whitmer, DeMichael Strahan. Strahan has eaten Cooper up. And he's repeatedly beat him to the inside.
12 men on the field by the offense. Illegal formation by the offense.
Take your pick.
Those penalties are declined. 4th down.
So they had too many men, and they still couldn't get it done. It'll be 4th down, and Gary Anderson will come on to try to give the Eagles the lead. The Eagles have not been in front today. Anderson is 3 for 3. His last 2 kicks from 46 and 45 yards. This will be a 30-yard attempt. For Anderson, normally this is a chip shot. Tom Hutton will hold. Giants lead 10-9. And Anderson's kick is perfect. And the Eagles, for the first time, have taken the lead. They lead the Giants by a score of 12-10. And we'll take a timeout with 2:12 left.
You know, I'm sick of playing defense. You offensive guys get all the glory. You get to be on the field when they score the touchdown. You guys get to do all the fun dances they do in the end zone. Well, enough is enough. I'm making a big switch from defense to offense. This is much better.
Fox NFL Sunday. Mike Strahan and the Giants take on the Redskins next week.
Gary Anderson on this kick. I mean, as soon as it came off his foot, he knew it was good. In fact, it was so good that Ray Rhodes on the sideline knew it immediately. Heck, he didn't even have a reaction. He just expected it. You see, Gary Anderson has been out there all those years and been in those situations. Watch Ray Rhodes. Not a particularly emotional guy. All right, we got it. You know what his mind's saying right now? My special teams can't kill me here. My special teams have to do their job.
14-play drive, and Anderson with his 4th field goal has accounted for all of the Philadelphia points today. Tyrone Wheatley returning the kickoff from Anderson from his 5, and he is down at the 27-yard line. And Dave Brown will come out. Remember, the Giants do not have any more timeouts remaining, and yes, 6 sacks today.
There was a time when he had 6 sacks and 4 completions.
But the Giant offense, which has produced very little today, will have to get in a position to allow Daloiso to try a field goal to try to win it if the Giants don't get 6.
You know, Dick, I've seen the lights go out on Broadway.
You have?
I've seen the Empire State laid low.
You're a poet and you're a kid, and we love you for all those things.
Oh, yeah.
Tyrone Wheatley, the running back, first down on the Giant 27. Dave Brown hit, and he loses the ball. It's a free ball picked up by Thomas, and Thomas is going to run it in for the touchdown. And the Philadelphia Eagles, with a big defensive play, have scored the touchdown. Now, Red Cashin.
I don't know. That looked like it should have been blown right there.
Well, Cashin may rule that it was a...
But I think he put his arms up already. Watch, he's looking. There's coverage down the field. Now he's trapped. Now takeoff. He's about to throw.
Mike Mamula forced that.
Oh, he tried to throw that away. That is a fumble. That is correct.
Yes, they were all over it.
That's a poor decision. That's a very poor decision by Dave Brown. He was going down. He tried to flip it back like it would be an incomplete pass, and instead he got a fumble. Mamula beats Bishop to the top side. As he's going, watch him at the end. See how he tried to flip it up to Wheatley? Instead, it's ruled a fumble, and that's what they're going to have their discussion about right now.
But the call was a correct one. It was a fumble. Brown said he was throwing. He was not, and the Eagle touchdown should hold up.
He's saying that he was going to give that throw was kind of like over-the-head thing.
William Thomas being congratulated on the sideline as the Eagles get a defensive touchdown. We have had 2 touchdowns today. 1 defensive touchdown for the Eagles and a punt return for a score. Tyrone Wheatley was shaken up and only now getting up. 1:51 remaining in the game, and the Eagles in front 18-10.
All right, I want you to watch as Mamula comes from the backside. See if his knee is down to stop it before he throws.
No way was he trying to throw.
See right here, that's where he's trying to throw back over the top like that. But because it was such a feeble attempt and a poor decision, it comes off as a fumble.
Well, who was he trying to throw to?
Well, he was trying to throw it to Wheatley out in the flat. And here comes the pass. Now watch, his knee's not down. See, he tries to flip it out to Wheatley, who's standing right there. Poor decision, and that results in a touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Gary Anderson with the extra point, and it's 19-10. 23-yard return of a fumble by Thomas, his 2nd career touchdown, and a 9-point Philly insurmountable lead.
McDonald's introduces the Crispy Chicken Deluxe. Fresh toppings and a whole breast filet from a more sophisticated kind of chicken. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Aluminum. Most new car radiators are made of it, making them a big target for pitting and failure. But Prestone Antifreeze bonds with aluminum, forming the Prestone Zone of protection against corrosion. This winter, protect your car in the Prestone Zone.
Fifth pocket, overlooked since 1873.
A series of murders unsolved and a shocking ending that's unbelievable. Whoa! A brand new X-Files, Friday.
The best part of playing in the NFL is when I get to go home.
Here we go.
And my town is so small that in high school I had to play all the positions.
He plays all the positions.
Tuggle snaps to Tuggle. Tuggle throws.
It's a basket. Jesse, he's our man. He can't do it. Nobody can. Like we have a choice. Oh, yeah.
Fox NFL Sunday. Jesse Tuggle and the Falcons take on the Cowboys next week.
1:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Eagles lead the Giants by a score of 19-10. Dave Brown, 7 completions, was sacked 7 times. The Eagles scored 12 points in the last 21 seconds on a field goal and a return of a fumble for a touchdown. And now the Giants, with Brian Saxton bringing it up, will go on offense, but they're out of timeouts. The big play of this game happened a few moments ago with the Giants desperate to try to get into field goal range.
Well, and as Brown goes back, Mamula comes from the backside, and then Brown makes a bad decision and tries to flip it over. It's ruled as a fumble instead of a pass, which is the right call. Willie Thomas takes it in, gives them a 9-point lead, and effectively the football game.
Giants have no timeouts remaining, and they need 2 scores. 1st and 10 on the 36-yard line. 1:47 showing on the clock. Dave Brown flips to Wheatley. Tyrone Wheatley gets to the 43-yard line. So we have had 29 points scored today and no offensive touchdowns.
I think I have to go back, as you're looking tonight on Fox, the Braves and the Cardinals following the football game in the championship series. I have to go back to what we talked about at the beginning of the game, and that was the offensive line of the New York Giants would really be the difference in this football game, how well they played or didn't play. See, Chris Callaway just drilled somebody out on the sideline. I want you to watch Callaway. Now the game, you know, for all intents and purposes, just about over. He just takes Michael Zordich and plants him.
Lewis caught that pass, went out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:19 to go. The ball is on the 46-yard line of the Eagles, the 44. 1st and 10. Giants use their timeouts on defense earlier on, and here is Dave Brown. He's got Wheatley, who's hit immediately at the 41-yard line by William Thomas, a gain of only 4.
Dick, I'll tell you right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are rushing 3, and they're still putting pressure on Dave Brown, and that's the key. I mean, they weren't able to adjust in their routes, and their offensive line did not play well.
Dave Brown's pass, incomplete. Callow, that was Dorsey, dropped it and then took a hit. But when you're sacked 7 times, that's enough of a commentary on how your offensive line is doing.
Well, then the coverage by the Philadelphia Eagles was outstanding, because there were times when he wanted to set and throw and there was no place to throw. So I think there's a combination of things going on. I think, first of all, the receivers and the quarterback aren't on the same page at times. I think the offensive line is not doing a good job of protecting the passer. And then I think philosophically you have to change your routes. You have to go to shorter routes if you're going to get that kind of pressure, which they did in the second half.
3rd down and 6 on the 40. Dave Brown. Again, he flips it to Wheatley, and Wheatley gets to the 30-yard line. Mark Woodard making the tackle, but time will run out on the Giants, who their defense not allowed a touchdown in 12 quarters. But it's a hollow statistic when you consider that the Giants not allowing an offensive touchdown today will lose 19-10. So with the Eagles headed for the victory. They will now go 4-2 on the year. The Giants dropping to 2-4, and Washington leads by a game in the NFC East.
And Washington has New York this week. The Giants, although the score didn't indicate it, they thought that was a winnable game the last time they played. But if they play this poorly in their offensive line, they're not going to win that game either.
The Eagles will play host to the Miami Dolphins next week at Veterans Stadium. 2nd down and 10.
Make that
Brown loses the ball, and Aaron Pierce jumps on it to recover it for the Giants. So that game next week, the Miami Dolphins at Veterans Stadium. Miami coming off a big road win today against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, old Jimmy Johnson, boy, he's pulling out all the tricks.
Final seconds, and this pass overthrown.
Dick, I got to tell you, as good as the Giants played 2 weeks ago against the Vikings is as bad as they played today.
Their defense held in there.
Their defense played well. Corey Whitmer played a heck of a football game. Sparks played well. Seahorn outside. Strahan up front.
Special teams played well.
Special teams played well, but that offensive line did not play a good game.
And you got to credit the Eagles for hanging in there with Gary Anderson's foot. 4 field goals. They actually took the lead with 2:12 remaining, and then of course the big turnover and William Thomas's run for a touchdown.
And you also have to credit Ray Rhodes. I think he's an outstanding coach. He gets his group ready to play. You know, they lose their starting quarterback.
Here is Dave Brown going for Thomas Lewis, and it's intercepted by Bobby Taylor in the end zone with 3 seconds to go. A solid exclamation point for the Philadelphia Eagles today. And we want to remind you that as soon as this game is over, we'll send you out to Oakland for the conclusion of the game between the Lions and the Raiders. But the Eagles have won a big one coming from behind in the 4th quarter.
Well, they won it all the way around. Offensively, you know, Ty Detmer stood in there. He got whacked around, but they ran the football very well with Ricky Waters. They also have problems in their offensive line. If they don't solve that right tackle spot with Cooper, they're gonna get Ty Detmer beat up.
I want to remind you, baseball follows football. Braves and Cardinals game 4, following our coverage of the Lions-Raiders, which will come right after this game. And 3 seconds to go. This will be the last play. Anderson's field goals key, and Ty Detmer gets congratulations in his first NFL start, leads the Eagles to a victory. And the final score, the Eagles 19, the Giants 10. When we come back, we'll pick up the Raiders and the Lions on Fox. So for Matt Millen, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from Giants Stadium.